Sunday with a lot to talk about. I got my boy with me. If you can see it right here to my right, my boy Abs. On Instagram it's at spoken word Abs, ABZ at the end. Hit him up. We're live on the YouTube. We are live on FRQNCRADIO. Everybody, welcome back. We got a lot to talk about this week. Of course, I got Mo with me.
Welcome everyone. I mean, everyone Ramadan Mubarak, everyone's enjoying that. I don't know if you were on there before that started.
Yeah, we
are now. So everyone, you know what I mean, fasting like us. Ramadan Mubarak, eh?
We're a little bit late on the air today, but not to worry. We've got a lot to bring you. You can even potentially run over a little bit as well, to give you guys that make sure you get that 2 hours of sports content. But yeah, we've got so much to talk about. We've got the England team, all the controversy, the England kit, yeah, causing a lot of hype this week. And we're going to have a conversation today, a little debate about, as non-white England fans, right?
Ethnic
minorities in Britain, should we be supporting this England team? We've seen the backlash. We've seen how it's been about this week on Twitter. There's been a lot of talk about, you know, are these players even British? And, there's not one English player in sight. Does that mean English? Does that mean non-white? What does that mean? Yeah, we're going to talk about that. And I know we've got some different opinions in the studio, so stay tuned for that. We've also got to look forward as well. I know it's international break now, but next week we get Champions League finals, we get FA Cup finals. We never really get Premier League finals, but next week we're gonna get the closest thing possible to a Premier League final. We got Man City versus Arsenal, and I know Mohammed's got a lot to talk about that. So yeah, we're gonna look forward to that as well. But guys, welcome. Let's get cracking. Mo, how are you doing? I know you've been doing some work with Oxford United women. Man's come in.
Out here, I'm growing the game.
He's growing the game.
That's me, bro. I'm growing the game now. I was volunteering to Oxford United women, saw a decent game of football. Some sponsors, see an injury which didn't look too good. Hope things out to her and that. Fingers crossed. Yeah, that was pretty good. But yeah, busy day. Enjoying Ramadan. We're out here. We look good. Can't complain.
And our special guest. I'll start. You know what? I'm fantastic, bro. Because one of the topics we're going to talk about today is one of the best games I've actually ever experienced, right? I've been going to Old Trafford for 10 years.
I think you should introduce your guest and I'll let you start because
I'm not going to talk about the game yet. Yeah, I'm just going to say I'm feeling really good because I'm still so happy about that result literally over a week ago. But yeah, let me introduce my guest to my right. It's my boy Abs. Got a long history in this. He's been to Old Trafford with me this season as well. Been watching football since God knows when. Big United fan and grew up on the good old days of the, you know, three-peats and all of that and the Champions Leagues. And Abs, introduce yourself. Talk to us, bro.
I'm Abs. I'm here, obviously. Mad's introduced me how he is. If you want to follow me, it's at Spoken Word Abs on Instagram. I do my spoken word thing. Actually, ironically, I play football today, so I'm kind of in the mood to have a conversation. Big United fan. I hate Liverpool. And I hate Man City, and I want to make that clear as day. But yeah, we'll talk about that game, and you'll hear how I feel about that for sure.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so me and Abs are coming from football-related activities. We don't just talk it, we live it.
Yeah.
To make that clear, innit?
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie, I haven't been doing nothing football-related.
I really told you, take your daughter to football, because the girls, because there's a lot of academy girls, so they actually feel like, I don't know if it's just the football or the fact that they got families who take them to football. But they gave me some hope for the future because the internet don't, innit? I'm on Twitter and that, and I'm being honest, I see 14-year-olds tweeting and doing madness. I feel a sense of despair, innit?
Yeah.
But today, seeing some of these girls playing the football, they seem to have like good manners, knew how to interact with people, and made me think, you know what? It's not all doom and gloom, innit?
Yes, I don't know. My little boy took him to football, and he seemed more interested in taking the ball and running in the opposite direction. So I'm trying to figure that one out at the moment.
Bellingham said he didn't like football at first, so you never know.
Yeah.
Maybe. But
you know what it is? I feel it's so hard for kids nowadays because as well, like they're coming up. Like football is a game that you got to take a while to kind of understand and really get the joy out of. And for someone with a short attention span, football is not a fun game to play.
A phone now gives you a million choices. You can read a book, you can play a game, you could draw a painting, you could do all that before you play football. When you're a kid, technology wasn't as developed. There was less choices, innit?
Yeah, there was way less to do. 100%.
People had a passion for it. Like us guys, we'd be outside all day long till 8.
I mean, you still had choices then. I say football will always survive.
It was a lot easier. Well, I think anyway, it was a lot easier to end up playing a game of football, even if you didn't like football back in the day. Because back in the day,
it was like,
even if you didn't like it, you know the options are, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to play with my friends. So whatever game my friends decide to play, I'm going to play with them.
Even
right?
if you're on goal. Even if you're on goal and balls are getting thumped at you.
100%. The guys that didn't like football, the fat kids or whatever, they go and goal. Do you know what I mean?
I'm saying, like I said, it teaches them little kids like some social skills, teamwork, interacting. Because now I see these kids on their phones. That's a little off topic, but yeah, I see kids on their phones and they don't know how to interact. They don't know how to talk because they're just on their phones, isn't it? But obviously, playing a team game 11 aside, you have to learn how to communicate.
Yeah. You learn how to be like in a group of humans and people and like adversities and all sorts. Yeah, 100%.
So, talking about little girls, Maz went to watch United last week. But they weren't the little girls, were they, Maz?
No, we weren't actually. We random little girls out of town. Speaking of little girls,
little
girls I was watching were Liverpool, mate. Yeah, I wasn't watching the little girls in the United Red. All right. So let me tell you something. First and foremost, I drove to Old Trafford on my own. Right. Sat there in traffic like I usually do. No worries at all. On the M6, the countless hours, that I've spent on the M6, throughout the years. I've been going to Old Trafford for over 10 years now, And that game, that atmosphere, right? The way the fans were up for it last Sunday against Liverpool was something I have never ever experienced in all my years, right? What a game, what an atmosphere, what a crowd, right? Before I even get started on the actual game of football, just being part of that atmosphere was one for the books, man. And it was unreal. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see some of the videos and stuff that I was posting. You'll see some of the photos and that. It was nuts. I was out there starting chants in the crowd after the game, walking down the stairs, walking on the street, proper getting into it. It was amazing, great fun. And of course, having a win like that, not only just a win like that, but against your biggest rivals. And United versus Liverpool is one of them rivalries that's still got so much vitriol and hate in it. And I love it, I can't stand them. Go on.
As much as your feelings let's talk about the game. That's why we're here, innit?
Hey, listen, I'm talking
That's
about...
why we're here.
I'll get to the game.
It was a game that was like United of old. Like the feeling, like how it was manic, it was back and forth. We won in 90th minute, we won in our stadium. Like it was like,
Not even 90th, 121st, bro. We won. So, okay, let's talk about the game then, So, first of all, I'm in the stands. I'm not expecting much. It's United against Liverpool. We've seen what's happened in previous years. We haven't beaten them for a while, especially since that 7-0. Just had two kind of mediocre performances against them. The game started. United were on the front foot. We completely dominated. We actually completely controlled the game for the first 43 minutes, I think, of the game.
Literally,
it was complete domination. Man United running Liverpool wild, and it was probably the best I've seen Man United play under Ten Hag, right? That first 43 minutes of the game. We didn't give them much. McTominay gets the goal. That puts us deservedly ahead, and I think we maybe even could have had another one. Then what happens is the kind of Man United mental breakdown thing that sometimes happens with the team between about the 43rd and the 48th minute happened. And Liverpool still didn't play that well, in my opinion, in that period, but they played well enough to get into the box, score a couple of goals. You had man like Kwanzaa running from his own half into our box unchallenged. Ends up laying it off, couple passes into the thing, and it's a goal. 1-1. Quickly afterwards, 2-1. We go into half time thinking, here we go again.
You must have been worried there because it was very United. You start a lot of games well, but normally you only last 20 minutes, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
United had that 20-minute pump, and then they just fall out of games.
It lasted 43 this time.
But it's not worrying that they were able to score two goals pretty easy considering how bad they played.
But like if you think about the goal that what's his name scored, the first one.
McAllister. I think
McAllister. But like obviously Kobe Mainoo tried to block it. It was unfortunate deflection. I think it would have been saved.
My back. Sorry, Carol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would have been.
But it was good. I mean, like for him to be in that position shooting is a dangerous area. They played it to get into your box.
No, I hear what you're saying, right? But like it's one of those things where like you saw the team, even though they scored 2, the way that we came out the second half was still like we want to win this game.
I think it helps
and
you be in a cup tie.
That's what
100%. It was the fact it was a cup tie meant that it was literally all or nothing in that game.
And I think in a Premier League game at 2-1, you'd be like keep it 2-1 for a bit. Obviously, that doesn't benefit you in a cup tie. So as soon as half time come out, it was just attack.
Yeah.
It was straight to
But
it.
to be fair, actually it wasn't. As soon as the second half started, right? I'd say the first 15 minutes of that second half, it looks like we're going into old Man United Liverpool games. We're gonna get pumped. We're gonna see the game out. They're gonna pass us off the pitch, and you know that kind of I'm in possession and I know I'm gonna win this game type thing. And United kind of laid down for them. We were kind of letting them be like, yeah, you know what, fuck it, yeah, you're probably gonna win this game.
Yeah, when you finish talking about United, we're gonna talk about Klopp because he made a mistake in this game.
No, he did.
Two massive ones.
So, yeah. First mistake, I think, obviously, and it happened around that after that first 15 minutes. He takes off a few players. Takes off Salah. There was the first.
And Robinson.
I'm not gonna lie, Salah stunk. He absolutely stunk Old Trafford out.
Yeah.
No. Hold on. We all watched the game. We all watched the game.
Yeah, we all know.
Mohamed Salah did nothing in that game.
Those players, Salah and Robinson go off the pitch, and then him bringing on Harvey Elliott and Connor Bradley. Them man are thinking, oh my God.
Let me stop this.
Well, let's go.
Is that not I want to make it very clear about Mohamed Salah.
World class player.
Hold on. In that game.
Scored.
He scored. What was that goal? It was a 5-yard tap-in.
No,
it was a tap-in after it bounced him off the post.
It was a good finish.
That was a goal that any single player on that pitch should and would score in that position.
However, I still think he sliced it and he didn't even think it was going to go in and it went in.
Yeah, but he does that.
But he does do that.
He's a goal scorer. He's a sort of person. It's instinct. When it comes to you like that, you just hit it.
But generally in the game, he was kept quiet.
In that game, he was kept quiet and he did nothing.
Has that. Like I said, do you think Harvey Elliott is a better player than him? No, but I'm saying that's who he brought on. And even just looking at him, if you're United, look, and you see
let's not get carried away into these other debates. Let me finish talking about the game. Yeah, I want to talk. I'm giving you segments here in these games. Yeah. So Mohamed Salah, in my opinion, was quiet, right? And he came off, right? I think Wan-Bissaka did a brilliant job at left back. I think he was one of our best players on that pitch, right? Anyway, well, yeah, I'll get to the individual performances in a little bit, but anyway. About the 50th, 58th, 60th, something around there, that's when the game switched and United turned. They got their tails up and were like, right, we're gonna go for this, right? And they started getting gung ho, and we started creating chances. We looked dangerous every time we were going forward. Garnacho was giving Connor Bradley nightmares. I think he probably still is.
He sounds special.
He's played amazing, right? Anyway, we get the goal. He brings on Ante. I remember looking down, yeah. From the stands, from the Sir Bobby Charlton stand, and I'm looking down and I'm like, I see Anthony warming up. I'm like, Jesus, why, bruv? Yeah, the guy next to me is going, sack him now, sack Ten Hag now, don't even let him out of the stadium. Yeah, with this United job, when Anthony's coming on, and this shows you the vibe in Old Trafford, around man like Anthony. So anyway, Anthony comes on. Dare I say, he comes on and actually starts playing really well. He comes on, he plays well, and the finish from Anthony to take us into extra time, unreal. Yeah, swivel on his right foot, weaker foot, which I've never seen him use.
Had to be in it. Had to be. Anthony
Silva's boom, 2-2. We're going into extra time. Yeah, amazing. We go into extra time and we just carried on where we left off. I feel like Klopp let his foot off the gas a little bit, and then once he did, and once Man United kind of got a sniff of it, we didn't look back. We kept going. Credit to Ten Hag. He pulled the players aside. He said, we're going 1v1. At one point, the only defenders we had on the pitch were Dallo and Maguire, right? We had Anthony was at left back. Maguire was up front, funnily enough, even though he was one of our only defenders. Bruno Fernandes dropped into centre back as an injured player, right? And was doing the quarterback role. We went gung-ho, and the bollocks that Ten Hag has on him, right? To be able to put Bruno Fernandes at centre back.
No diddy,
right? No diddy. To put Bruno Fernandes at centre back, Anthony at left back, Harry Maguire up front. Mate, massive cojones, and I completely.
As well, to be fair.
He did bits, and I completely. I gotta give credit for Ten Hag for that because I didn't expect that. No, I didn't expect that. And then
every dog has his day, innit?
You talk about also who comes on, and Ahmad Diallo. What a player! He comes on, does excellent, puts in a shift from minute go to literally to the last second of the game where he scores a winner, and he puts in a fantastic performance. Ends up getting sent off. Old Trafford singing his name as he walks off the pitch. It's a thing of dreams. It's literally the thing of dreams. So, yeah, Man United showed a lot of grit, a lot of determination, and a lot of heart and character that I didn't even think they had. Right. So you talk about not having you talk about United's mentality and how it has been bad and how we did concede in those last 5 minutes of the first half. When it came down to it,
crumbled in the first half.
Nah.
I think it was just
when it came down to it,
yeah, just done stupid mistakes.
So watching that from the ground, that was one of the best experiences I've ever had. Beating Liverpool as well, your biggest rivals, in a game like that in the last minute of extra time. This is why we do it. This is why we turn up week in, week out to watch football games, right? That feeling.
It's like that. It's different. It's just different. It's like in your gut, you're like, we grew up with these moments. We grew up with these moments at the Fergie time and all of that stuff. So
I'm glad you're here. You sound like you respect United, because you know what? This guy, I think he forgets who United are now.
Man. Like United's still United. Look at the world, man. The biggest club after Madrid is us, and I will say that with chest. Like in terms of the fan base we have around the world, in terms of the reach that we have, in terms of players still coming through now, still want to play for Man United. They look, obviously, because of the background shit that's happening and all of that kind of stuff, they're a little bit put off, and this is why Bellingham was put off, and this is why loads of players are put off when they come and see facilities and thinking, what's going on here? However, if those things are put into place and those things are fixed, bro, people be running back to us, man, and lining up to come to a club this big, with a wage that big, with the status that they have and the hero status they can have. Players like Cantona and Beckham and the likes, bro. Ronaldo,
this is one thing.
They want that, bro.
This is one thing I've never faulted from. Man United, I think, anyway,
Giants.
The biggest club, definitely the biggest club in England, but I think they're bigger than Barcelona. I think it's literally Real Madrid and Man United stand on their own too, in my opinion. But I've never ever, by the way, shied away from that, Mohammed.
I disagree. But I'm not going to have this discussion now, because
I've never shied away from that, right? What I have shied away from is the standards that Man United have dropped a lot over the past few years, right? And that's because obviously
I'm
the way
saying
we
you're
play.
accepting of them. And speaking
I
of
have to
accepting
accept what's
bad
happening.
standards, Gareth Southgate, word on the road. No.
So obviously that dropped straight afterwards. You know what? You know what's really annoying about that, yeah? That story had no class in it, bro. Whoever wrote that story or broke that story is a piece of shit, first of all. I'd be that honest. Because after United are coming off the biggest win, we might have been the biggest win we've had in the past like 6 years, 7 years.
But
yeah?
it's a quarter final in the 6-7 years.
Quarter-final again. No,
you've won other stuff. It can't be the biggest.
In the past 6 years, we've only won the League Cup. In the past 6 years,
yeah, but a quarter final.
Listen, let me just clarify. In the past 6 years, we've only.
It's still the Carling Cup game against Newcastle that brought you that.
The past 6.
It's worth more than this quarter final.
The past 6 years, I said.
And I hate the Carling Cup.
I said specifically.
I think it's a worthless trophy.
But you know, if this is different here. In life, yeah, you can have highs and lows, right? But when you're at your lowest, and you have something that brings you up and brings you high, they're the memories you remember consistently for your whole life.
If you go on to win the FA Cup, I could maybe agree with you about this game.
Yeah.
But right now, you've got a good draw safe. You'll probably get to the final.
But for us, yeah, because we're Man United fans and you're not, right? For us, we see that we're like, we can do it. Look at us. Look at the players. Our problem is mentality for our players. We get pissed off at our players. Why, you're a pussy or some mama? You're not doing enough. You're not doing this and you're not doing that. It affects them. But when they're all got the heart and they're all pulling through and doing it together, then we're like, okay, look, they got something. So for us as fans, we get gassed. Of course.
Listen, I said in our family group chat after the game, I said it's a big game for Old Trafford because recently, it's been easy to go there, or a lot easier than it should be.
Exactly.
So maybe this game now can bring. I hope not, because we have to come to Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Second game out from the end of the season. The last thing I want is Old Trafford to be firing.
Amazing.
So I want to make it clear, right? The reason why I said it's one of the biggest games in the past.
Bournemouth, the Fulham games, these would never have happened before. Brighton, what they've done to you at Old Trafford.
Never.
So Old Trafford needed it might benefit Old Trafford.
Can I make one point as well about the cup games that you were talking about? Ten Hag actually has like an 85% win rate in knockout competitions.
Yeah, but your cup runs have been very favourable. He's a Gareth Southgate one.
This was not a favourable game, though.
No, this game wasn't. This was a good game he won. I'll give you the Newcastle game.
So you gotta give
but other than that, the runs you've had in the cups have been good.
Yeah, but you got to give
so
credit.
So an 85% is fine, but I'm saying is that when you look into it,
right now we're talking whole career. So like even
Ten Hag did a very good job before he got to United. Yeah. I'm not disputing that. I'm not saying he's always been. I'm saying he's not good and he's not this level.
Yeah.
I personally, and listen, this is a conversation we maybe will have in a little bit as well about whether Ten Hag will still be there, right, next season, or whether he deserves to be there. But again, going back to the game, the reason why I say that was the biggest game probably that we've had in the past 6 or 7 years is because we actually haven't won anything but the League Cup in the past 6 or 7 years. And the League Cup was a great win, and I was at Wembley when we got you know what I mean, when we got through against Brighton in the semis.
Final with Ollie, bro. Poor Ollie, bro.
No, I was at the last season. Sorry, the FA Cup semis. I was there. This was for me was bigger than any game we played in the past 6 years.
That's because you lost them all, bro. This is hindsight.
Nah, not even. We won the League Cup in that time.
No.
Yeah, true.
Them semis with Ollie, for example, if he would have won the Europa League,
I was at the semis last year as well when we won.
There would have been bigger moments.
But also to stop Klopp from going to Wembley is nice as well.
Yeah, great.
I'll tell you why. As a United fan, why that was such a big win for us. Yeah, because one,
not feeling. I understand you didn't think it was going to happen. You felt amazing.
Yeah.
But in the scheme of United as a football club, you could
6,
go out
years.
to Coventry next game, and that game will be nothing.
Also,
so for you to say it's the biggest game,
okay. So when we
talk, much.
Why was that 7-0 one of the worst defeats we've ever had?
7. Not
just because it's 7.
If you would have lost 3-0, no one would have cared.
Not just because it's 7.
No, it's because it was 7.
7 against Liverpool. That is the If we would have lost 7-0 to Brighton, it would have killed me.
Because the 4-0 against Brentford that season is also going to be remembered.
Don't know.
We don't care.
Bro, it doesn't hurt me even in the slightest.
The way. All right.
Bro,
calm.
Yeah, but
well done, Ivan Toney. Like,
as United fans, bro, we don't care about lose. Like, look, we could lose 7-0 and it's gonna hurt us. Whoever we lose.
Because Liverpool fans.
If we lose 7-0 against, bro, there's a list of teams that if we lose 7-0 to, it's not just a catastrophe because we lost 7-0. It's like that. Beyond.
It's you're only gonna lose 7-0 in the league.
It's like utter shame, bro, heartache.
But I'm saying, for example, if we lost 7-0 to Chelsea, yeah, that would hurt me so much less than us losing 7-0 to Liverpool. So losing 7-0 to Liverpool was the worst team we could have lost 7-0 to.
Yeah, but I'll say to you is, when you lose a normal game to Liverpool, it hasn't happened a lot, because when you've lost, you lost bad.
Mohammed, you're looking at it from
it's not that deep.
You're looking at it from the argument is we lost 7-0. But we only lost. There was only 3 points up for that game. We only lost 3 points, and at the end.
Listen, Ten Hag can make that argument because his record against Liverpool has been good since.
But
before and after that game, it's been good. It's just that one game against. As much as I don't rate him, to be fair to him, against Liverpool, it's just been that game.
So Liverpool,
and it all went wrong in that game.
What I'm trying to say is
every other
that game meant so much to Liverpool fans, and that game hurt so much for United fans because it was that vitriol between United and Liverpool is so strong. It makes it what? No, it does.
No, not really.
It definitely does make it mean more.
But like, that's
100,000%.
This is how Arsenal fan can't understand because your man's rivals are Tottenham. So you man been dupping them for years anyway. It's not the same thing. Us guys, Liverpool United, as much as I hate Liverpool, we're the pinnacle of British football.
Yeah.
Of English football.
And that's why
the pinnacle.
You
so
can't.
It's
at Tottenham, I can't brush off losing a game to Tottenham the way you can brush off losing a game to Liverpool.
If you lost to Arsenal 7-0,
we lost to you 8-2. For 10 years it haunted me.
Oh yeah.
I literally now I could talk about it probably because you lot held that 7 and I don't get vexed.
Yeah, but you guys didn't give us that 7.
You lot, it's been so long, and that team was so bankrupt.
You guys have been eating off our scraps for years, man.
No, that shit's finished.
Let's be honest, yeah.
You had to buy. You had one player in that team, and you bought him the season after Van Persie.
Again, listen. Let's not get too far away. Let's go back to the game.
He's a pagan.
Yeah, let's bring it back.
I'm gonna run it there. So obviously, hurry up.
So I just want to talk about the player performances, right?
Yeah.
I don't think, like, from that team, that came out, Anthony, I think, came on and played really well, so I'll give him credit for that. I'm always here for Anthony coming on the squad.
Left back as well.
Yeah, I'll give him that. I'm always here for Anthony.
You're here for it once, you mean. Can't always be here for something.
He had a good couple of good games last season. When he came and scored against Arsenal as well.
I'm always here for it. No, I told you, the goal against Arsenal, and even against City, people didn't know who he was. As soon as they learned that, just block the left foot and he's finished. That's what everyone did.
Listen, I'm not.
He scored his right there.
That's why.
Credit Stu.
I'm not. Listen, I don't want to talk about Anthony's. I'm not saying his career has been. I'm here for it. I'm saying I'm not here for that. I'm here for the parts of his career that are good. Right. That's what I'm here for. Cool. Moving on from Anthony. Amad Diallo. We've already spoken about that. Amad Diallo, amazing.
Rashford beat the case. With that goal, he beat the case.
I've seen many better performances from Rashford where he hasn't scored.
Listen, that performance.
That goal.
You know what? If you're being like, listen, there's more to a performance than goal scoring. So I guess him getting into positions is positive because he's been dog-arsed recently. Yeah. But he missed some massive chances. And if you go out in a cup game, you do look at them, innit? Yeah. So that goal's definitely like...
But do you know what as well?
It was
credit
good
to McTominay because that pass was weighted perfectly. It's the only pass he could have given for Rashford to hit that first time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, McTominay. That was a very nice pass from McTominay.
Like, my Liverpool fan friend texted me and goes, "McTominay's a statue."
I've been
McTominay fan, goal and assist as well. He had a very.
He's kept Ten Hag in a job.
He had a fantastic, not fantastic. He had a very effective game.
Yeah, like we went to the Chelsea game and we saw him score at 2, right?
Sauce, yeah.
And
he won us that game.
Sauce, bruv, like
sometimes he has those games.
He won you a lot of games.
Yeah, he has.
One you picked you up like 12 points or something.
I'm not gonna lie, I still think we should sell him, but that's another conversation for another day. Yeah. Anyway, McTominay, another great game. I think the whole back line played pretty well. With Lindelof, Varane, Dalot. Dalot, I think he's gone up a level this season. Bro, he's in the conversations of best right backs in the league now. I genuinely believe that.
4 Liverpool guys and Dalot's by himself and didn't score.
I've seen him being told. Bro, you can't lose 11 games, concede the amount of goals and chances your team have conceded as a right back, bro.
Listen, I'll tell you what Dalot's weaknesses are. Yeah, Dalot's weaknesses sometimes have been picking up the man on the back post behind him or whatever, but and maybe a couple of positional weaknesses that he's got. But bro, he just turned 25 the other day. The guy's he's still coming into his prime as a defender, and he works so hard. You even heard Ronaldo talking about it, saying that the reason why he thinks he's going to be good isn't because he's good now. It's because of how hard he works at getting better at the things he's not as good at. Right. So I think his ability to improve in the way he's been improving in the past couple of years, I think, holds him in very good stead. And I think he's genuinely improved to being one of the better right backs in the league this season. So, I'm giving him a lot of credit for that performance. Any standouts for you, Abs?
I just think like.
What about your?
Let's
talk about your love child, Kobe Manu, and then we can segue over.
I was gonna have a whole topic, conversation.
We had that conversation with England as well.
We only got 2 hours, and we spent half.
It's about Kobe Manu. We should speak for 5 hours about Kobe Manu.
I'm not speaking for 5 hours.
Because he's that.
You can come back by yourself and have a monologue.
He's just so good.
He's just Starboy, isn't it? Like,
listen, I think he's a fantastic talent. Let me make that clear.
He is going to be
good.
I agree with you in that he's going to be awesome. I think right now he's played 14 games and there's still things that he needs to learn. And I think I don't think that's unusual.
I am
or
not
anything
accepting
unfair.
any Kobe Manu slander in front of me.
That might be controversial, yeah. But you know the hype that Bellingham got, Manu's on that same level.
He might be, but Bellingham.
I'm with you. I'm with you. There's nothing you can say that could gas this man up anymore.
He wasn't that good. You play together for England.
No, but I see, even yesterday they had that counter, and the mistake Manu made is the mistake he's gonna make, an inexperienced one. You're like the last man. You can't dive in like that.
Yeah, but he's 18 and he.
Yeah, but listen. Yeah, he will learn. He's gonna be a great player. I'm not.
No, but okay. Let's
he's
think
not
about the games
right now.
But think about the games where he held it down for United, and it was the senior players that were making the mistakes.
No, I don't blame.
Listen,
I don't even blame him for what's going on. He's doing more than he should be doing for an 18-year-old. It's not. I'm saying is his overperformance for a kid of his age doesn't necessarily mean that he's now performing at a level with like the top midfielders in the league, because he's not yet.
I still think we need like another CDM, and I don't think he's I don't think he's a defensive midfielder. I think he's number 8. Like in how he plays and all that kind of stuff. I think we need a defensive midfielder to play with him, and he can play that kind of Pogba role-ish kind of thing where he moves forward because he can spray the ball, he can dribble, he can go past players, he's intelligent, he can wait, he can play the little 1-2s and the triangles, and we've needed a player who can do that, right? But right now, bro, you're doing bits, isn't it?
Bro, I think personally, Kobe Manu, he's what you would say is a modern day unicorn. He can play number 6.
Nah, you can't.
He can play number 8.
Not now.
He can.
He has a lot. He needs to learn a lot to play number 6.
He's been playing number 6 for us.
No, he's been playing with Casemiro. And
no, he hasn't.
And both of them together have been looking exposed.
Casemiro's been injured and
Casemiro just got injured.
No, he's been. Bro, he's been. I'm telling you now. Kobe and Casemiro has only been a thing for the past
2 or 3 games.
Well, literally about 3-4 games.
Yeah, that's it.
Who else has been playing then?
Kobe's been playing with Scott McTominay.
Chicken, bro.
No, McTominay come on for
Kobe's been playing with Scott McTominay for the majority. He played with Scott McTominay on Sunday, and when he plays in that role, hold on. Let me say this, bro.
I can look up right now how many games they played together. It's not 2 or 3.
I guarantee you look it up.
Yeah.
I guarantee you look it up.
Yeah, and he's only played 14. So 3 or 4 is like a lot of his games, bro.
Bro, I guarantee.
No, when you play 14 Premier League
games,
he's played 16. He's played 16 games.
No, he's made 16 games.
16 games.
Newport County.
Yeah, and in those games, I think Newport County was the first game he played with Casemiro. You know that.
So basically, the point is, we're all getting.
And I was at that game.
Should he be in the England team? I don't mind. He can go in the squad. Should he be starting the first?
Okay, well, the question is about the England team. Is this question? We know Bellingham and Rice are going to start. Yeah? Cool. You got one more spot in that midfield. That one spot can be occupied by Conor Gallagher, Jordan Henderson.
No, there's a lot of midfielders. There's James Ward-Prowse.
List them for me.
There's Ross Barkley.
Okay,
all
Ross
of
Barkley.
Eze could play in that position.
The people that are the people that are actually in the squad.
No, so if we're doing what Gareth Southgate's doing, if we're doing what Gareth Southgate's doing, it's Jordan Henderson. Let's all go home right now, because that's what Gareth Southgate's doing.
We think Jordan Henderson's going to play, but I'm saying out of the squad that Gareth Southgate picks, is going to be Jordan Henderson, Ward-Prowse.
Remember, he didn't pick Manu at first. He picked
Conor
Manu
Gallagher.
after Saka dropped out, and I think someone else dropped out. No, he did.
No, he didn't. He picked
Manu. Manu was in the 21.
Look it up right now. The reason why he picked Manu wasn't because anybody dropped out. He picked Manu before they dropped out, and I was actually shocked about this because when I saw,
why did he pick him
hold on, hold on. I will elaborate. The reason, listen, he picked Kobe Manu after the Liverpool game. Before Saka dropped out, before Kane wasn't going to play, and before the news came. It wasn't announced before the Liverpool game. It was announced like the Tuesday after the squad. It was announced after the Liverpool game.
No, it was announced after not like after the game.
After the squad came out.
After the squad had linked up, that's when it got announced. He linked up with the under.
But he wasn't. Yes, because before that was the Liverpool game, the squad had already been announced. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish this point.
Did they not have rung him after the Liverpool game?
Listen.
No, but I know your point is you're saying they made the decision after they saw that
performance in the Liverpool game.
They have wrong him on
and
Sunday
they didn't.
night,
No, I'm saying. I remember. I actually read the article. I read the article on Sky Sports looking for who has dropped out, and it literally said nobody has dropped out.
Yeah, but
this is simply just he wants to see Kobe Mainoo in the first team.
They know
he couldn't hide from the noise anymore.
Okay, but if we step back for a second, you're talking about the people.
I'm saying Gareth Southgate. I don't think will pick him because he doesn't have the balls to pick anybody.
I'm not saying Gareth Southgate.
Southgate's a waste man.
Now picking him is a gamble. If you're, I'm happy to accept.
I don't even think it is.
It is. I'll tell you why. Because he, like I said yesterday, that last counter attack where Hendrick should have scored. It's a ball bounce out of the corner. Instead of going back with his man, he dives in. He leaves the team exposed. They're a young that will cost you in a knockout competition.
But we're losing, and it's a friendly. And we didn't start with the best team, anyways. If you're going to start with the best team, right?
I don't think England were worse than Brazil. They deserve to lose yesterday. It's not Kobe Mainoo's fault. He's not the reason England lost it. That's not my point. I'm saying he will make those sorts of mistakes from inexperience and things like that. Not because he's a bad player or because he's lacking anything, but because he's played 14
But you're missing out on the things he'll bring to the team as well. He's also going to do things that are going to be positive, that could create chances and make games.
Trent.
Yeah.
Listen, okay, hold on. You think Trent, fair enough. But I think
I don't even disagree.
Out of Rice and Bellingham, we all know Bellingham's going to play in the 10, or he's good. He should play in the 10. He should play in the 10. So you got Rice, and you got another 6/8 position of the pitch that's going to be fillable. So there's a lot of players that aren't going to hit that. I don't fit in that criteria. For example, Maddison, he's not going to play there. I don't think Trent will play there personally. I don't think Trent's going to sit in a two-man midfield.
He played Trent in midfield though, and that's where he plays for Liverpool now. He comes into midfield.
But he comes in from the
when he played Trent, he played with 3 at the back.
Where is he picking up
when he plays Trent, he plays in midfield. He plays with a 3 at the back because he's shook, bro. He's not going to play Trent in a two-man midfield.
No, you can play Trent with Rice next to him and Carl Walker on right next to him.
No, you can, but Gareth Southgate never has, and he won't.
He won't play him as a right back because he's scared of his defence. 100%.
He'll only play him in midfield if there's 3 at the back because he'll feel confident then of having the right protection around him, and that's the only time he's ever played. He's only ever played Trent as a right wing back or as a centre mid in when they're playing a 3-5.
But this is the thing that I think Manson's trying to say, is that if you put Kobe Mainoo next to Rice and with Bellingham at the 10, forget about the mistakes he can make. We have to think about. And this is what Gareth Southgate does, though, right? He thinks on the defensive side of things, but if you think on the offensive side of things, and you think of how to control
football,
but if you think
that's the problem.
But if you've got good enough players on the pitch, they will play like that.
Even yesterday, England, Rice and Bellingham were the best players for England, in my opinion. Bellingham in the first half, Rice in the second.
What I'm saying is, though, Kobe Mainoo can unlock a team, bro. And he will have players that can back him. If it's not you're losing and it's the last 10 minutes of the game or whatever, let's talk about him starting in the game. He can be somebody that builds up that confidence, man. Look how you turn the player. You could
definitely start him against your group stage.
Look at when they tried to press him.
Remember when they tried to press him? Team against France, team against Spain, these lot, they'll capitalise.
Look at Brazil yesterday. Who tried to press him yesterday?
Not pressing. I said they'll pull him out of position.
They'll
make him press and they'll get him.
No, but yesterday there was literally a moment in the game where I think it was.
But we're not arguing about
Paqueta
when he
came.
got the ball.
He had his back. He had his back to goal.
Have I said
Paqueta came.
Okay, but is he a better option than Gallagher? Or
Gallagher,
yes.
Madison doesn't fit.
I think Gallagher,
Madison doesn't fit.
Kobe Mainoo came
can
on.
Can I make the point about
Kobe
Gallagher?
Mainoo made 100% success rate when he came on and made more passes and had more touches than Gallagher in the whole game.
Gallagher's going to play there, not for his passing, for the fact that he works hard and he'll cover any gaps. That's what you're doing with
But
Gallagher.
that's what Mainoo also does that.
I don't think Mainoo does that as well yet.
Oh, listen.
You can get caught out, but I've seen him have difficult games against Luton. He had a difficult game. Both Zambia, Congo, and Barca had a difficult game.
But if you got Rice,
Villa, he had a difficult game. He's still young. It's not. I don't understand why you're not going on like I'm saying.
Because
even though he's biased here,
because listen, Mohammed,
he's a talented player.
Can I just say something?
He's not
because he's still young.
Yet.
Listen, because he's still young. For me, yes, he's still young, but that means he's still young. He's gonna make mistakes and he's gonna get better.
But you can't make mistakes.
But if we're looking right now today,
you can't make mistakes.
Hold on, Mohammed. If we're looking right now today, there's no guarantee that Conor Gallagher isn't gonna make a mistake because he's played an extra couple of years.
There's no guarantee.
There's no guarantee that Ross Barkley, even who's 29,
Harry Kane might miss a penalty. All these
mistakes can happen.
Yeah.
So hold on, mistakes can happen. That's just football.
But you have to go on probability. That's what you have to do. You have to be like, who can I? Because if you know what it is, if Conor Gallagher makes a mistake, you can look Conor Gallagher and be like, you shouldn't be making that mistake. You're an experienced pro. You're captain Chelsea. If Kobe Mainoo makes it, it's like when Saka missed that penalty for England. Obviously, the country blames Saka, but if you're being fair, that guy's like 5th international.
Yeah, it's not Saka's
He's
fault.
17 years old. You shouldn't be taking a penalty.
Yeah,
like
you
that.
shouldn't be.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I think that was Gareth Southgate's mistake.
100%. So that's what I'm saying. If Kobe Mainoo goes to the Euros and he makes a mistake, it won't be his fault. It'll be Gareth Southgate's fault for putting his faith for someone who wouldn't have had 50 games.
But whose fault it was?
He's taken to the squad, definitely.
Listen, whose fault it was, for me, doesn't matter. If it leads to a mistake, if a mistake leads to a goal, whoever does it, a mistake leads to a goal. The who you can blame for afterwards doesn't really matter, in my opinion. What actually matters is, we're looking at the way football, like the footballers we've got available to us. I personally think Conor Gallagher, if we're assessing the options, let's assess them one by one. Conor Gallagher, in my opinion, he isn't very good in a 2-man midfield. I think he's better in a 3-man midfield or when he's playing further forward as a number 10. Because he's better in the final third, I think. Pressing, winning the ball back high up the pitch. I think winning the ball back. I think Chelsea is shit, but the best we've seen from Conor Gallagher, his best attributes, what we've seen when he's been at his best, is that he's up, pressing, winning the ball high up the pitch, scoring goals, getting on the end of things, assisting. That's what he's best at. That's what he's been best at in his career. I think playing in a 2-man midfield in a deep Gareth Southgate system is not going to suit those attributes. Then we can move on, like somebody like Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse, I think, is a very good player. I think he's very good in terms of keeping the structure and his positional play. He's decent in the tackle. I think he's good, fantastic on the ball, great on set pieces. Doesn't make that many mistakes.
I think set piece taking the Prem.
I don't think he's a bad option. In fact, I think he's a good option. So let's put him there also as a good option. Yeah. Then who else have we got in the squad? Because Jordan Henderson. We're not going to get too deep into Jordan Henderson because we all, I think, agree that Jordan Henderson, even though he's Gareth Southgate's son, he might play. That's the only reason though he might play. Because we all know in terms of his play and what he can offer a team right now, in his age, he's not that great. Cool. Then you've got Kobe Mainoo. And bro, if you look at the way Kobe Mainoo, if you look at the way Kobe Mainoo plays, yeah, he's press resistant, right? He's very good on the ball in terms of opening up play, taking players on, passing balls. His vision is great. I think he's very good in the challenge. His mentality is fantastic. I think he's very wise. He's above his years in terms of his maturity, which I think helps in terms of the young players make mistakes because.
I think it's too small a sample.
I don't think. If you look at how he played Man United, hold on. Let me just finish this point. Man United. If you look at Man United and the way he plays next to Casemiro, who is one of the most experienced centre defensive midfielders or midfielders in the game today, right? And if you look at the way Casemiro's been playing next to Kobe looks like the wiser one. Casemiro's made way more mistakes. Yeah, in the past year than Kobe Mainoo has made since coming, or even in the time that they've been in the team together.
Not doing him a favour.
But Casemiro isn't a bad player, is my point.
He's a player in bad form.
He's a bad form, but at the very least, he's won.
I think he's injured.
At the very
whatever's going on, he's playing at a level that isn't reminiscent of Casemiro.
But at the very least, he's wise. Yeah, and he's very experienced and he understands the game.
But also, his mistakes are very physical. They're bad position and bad timing. It's not like he's not seeing shit. He's just not being able to get
I
there
think
and react.
Kobbie
to it the
Mainoo
way
hasn't. If you actually look at Man
Casemiro
United
should.
and the way they played, he hasn't actually made that many mistakes of him being like young and inexperienced.
I've seen
He's made a
you-
couple of mistakes here
I've
and there,
seen him play
but
games
I
where
just
there's
think
no
that's football.
midfield, and your midfield, whether you're running on Casemiro, but we know who the player he is. Bruno, I don't rate him that much, but you seem to think he's amazing.
I think Kobbie Mainoo is the best player in that midfield.
But I'm saying there is no midfield. These teams are getting overrun by
If we didn't have
normal
him this season, Ak, it would be peak for us.
Alright, Ali and Haley.
To the place I belong, to Old Trafford, see United, take me home, United Road.
You're a hooligan. Basically, Kobbie Mainoo, Trent should start. Really. Because he's World Cup.
Let's take Manu out of the equation right now.
So let's take. I think put Mainoo in a good basket. Again, you've got
Like, we need to take him at least.
Yeah.
So then
He
you've
should be in
got
the squad.
Then you've got
Because
Trent.
he's
I
definitely
think
good
Trent.
enough to bring on. If you need to chase a game and you can't get out, he's perfect for that. Bring him
I
on the
personally
game,
think
60,
Trent-
70th minute.
But has Trent proven himself in that position?
Trent
Yeah, because if you watch the way
in a
Liverpool
two-man
play,
midfield.
that's where he's
England don't
picking
play
up.
how Liverpool play though, man.
Bro.
I would say to you, that's why he can't start a right back. That's why he has to start in midfield because
Yeah.
he can't do the moving into right back and they'll get someone to cover. He
Trent,
has to be in that.
for me, as a Trent
the
for me
idea-
as a two-man midfield, yeah, with a four defense,
and
four-man
also,
defense,
Bellingham isn't a regular 10.
it's just not gonna happen.
No, but
As
Bellingham
much as
isn't
I
a
might,
regular 10, first of all. He's a sort of 10 who will still help you out in the 8. He'll come back and he's got bare
Yeah,
energy, he's a proper
100%.
box to box.
But-
and Trent, when his
But
problem,
Gareth Southgate will never.
don't say you, his problem at right back is he's one-on-one with a lot of area to pitch to cover. The guy he can't, like, if he couldn't defend at all, he would never been able to play right back. His problem is he's bad at defending certain situations and he keeps getting caught out in them. That's why he's bad against Rashford's or
You've got more of a chance.
because they'll exploit that
You've got
space.
more of a chance
You
of
don't
him-
face them problems.
Listen,
in
I
centre mid.
agree with you. Even
But he's not
footballing
gonna play
terms,
him. But he's not gonna
footballing
play
terms,
him.
I agree with you. I don't think he's a bad
He's-
I
option.
think he's more of a shout him than
I know,
Kobbie.
but
I don't think he's a
Southgate
bad
will play.
option.
But he gave him the number 10 before he played in midfield one
But
couple
he
games.
played. But that was if you look at all of those games and pull it up. All of those games England have been playing with 5 at the back, and he's played either in midfield or he's played as a right wing back. And the team is built to help him
You
play
know
in
what?
that role.
Let me tell you
that
something
he's
else.
not going to do it. As
There's
much as I would
another
like for him
reason-
to do it, he
listen,
won't.
Gareth
He won't.
Southgate won't do this, but another reason why you could play Trent in midfield, because that allows you to change to a 5 at the back in the game, because you could bring Bellingham into midfield, you could put him out at right wing back, and put Kyle Walker into right centre back.
Gareth Southgate's not going to do this. If you ask me what you should really
That
do,
you could actually do that within the game
if you ask
without
me,
making any
if
sense.
you ask me what you should really do, then we could talk about. I told you yesterday. I think Gareth Southgate should go into a box midfield like how Thingy does it when he plays 4 at the back, and he should make one of the defenders, John Stones, step into midfield.
Johnny Stones.
Next
we need
to
to have a moment of silence with Johnny Stones, by the way.
Next to
Vinny
that-
killed him yesterday.
Listen, next to Declan Rice, he stepped into midfield. Make that box between him, Declan Rice, Bellingham,
And
and
he said
Mainoo.
Kobbie's world class fighting.
Bruv, he is.
You know what? He's a talented player.
He's
You
a
know,
world-class
say
talent.
mashallah, and you
He's
might
a
really-
world-class talent, mashallah, and I think, you know what, this guy...
He's got a lot of talent. I like him. I want to see him do well.
So you know what?
I don't want him to play for England. I
Let's
hope
end,
he plays for Ghana.
let's end this by saying what all of our England teams would be, right? What's your starting 11, Mohammed, for the England in the Euros?
Obviously, it's going to be Pickford because you can't really pick Ramsdale now because he's not been playing. You can pick him for the squad, but not number 1. So Pickford, Kyle Walker,
Why wouldn't it be Ramsdale?
because he's not been playing. I don't think you can't go if you've not been number 1. You can't go into number 1. Do you know what I mean?
I hear it.
Like if you were number 1, man can keep faith with you. But if you weren't even the number 1, it's mad that hard to out someone when you've not been playing. Isn't it? Like, how do you put that?
But he is better than Pickford, though.
I think he's better than Pickford. I would never want Pickford.
I would trust him more.
But Pickford's never put a foot wrong for England, I'll be honest.
True.
And he ain't trying to play out from the back. That's Pickford's problem. He can't play out from the back. If you were doing that, then Ramsdale would make more sense. But Gareth ain't doing that.
Yeah. But based on that, they don't play Henderson.
That's his son, bro.
But anyways, carry on. Sorry.
But yeah, so what I'm going to do is, and then in the back line, we're going to go Kyle Walker. The thing is, it should be Chilwell on the left, but it has to be Shaw after Chilwell's performance yesterday. But then again, how fit is he? The guy, like...
But Shaw turns up.
Shaw won't be fit for the Euros, I'll tell you that for free.
Yeah.
He won't be fit for the Euros.
But who else we got?
Then it's going to be Chilwell. Unless he takes Enrico Henry Jamaican, ain't he?
Joe Gomez?
Yeah.
Joe Gomez, the left back, I don't like that.
He's revived his career at left back for
But
Liverpool.
again, playing for Liverpool, you see what he does, not playing like a left back. England need their left back to hold the shape, innit? They don't need a
I
left
think he's
back
good
coming
enough to
in.
play left back.
He could also do the Trippier left back thing. I've seen him do that. he could go back to that.
But
Trippier, I think, is probably... Anyway, go on. Give us
Then
your
in midfield, I'm going Bramthwaite. Sorry, in the centre-backs, I'm going Bramthwaite and John Stones.
Okay.
I've had enough of this Harry Maguire. Even yesterday, he nearly gave another goal away to Rafinha. I'm not even an England fan. I'm watching him frustrated. Yeah. In front of them, obviously, big Declan and that. I mean, OG. He's a G, man. He's such a sick footballer. And then Manchester 100, that's definitely some Maguire hate. And then after that, we're going to put... I told you I'm playing Trent, innit? I'm playing Trent there because he's in World Cup and European Championships. It's moments, and he can give you a moment.
So Trent, you're playing Trent, Declan Rice as a two-man midfield.
Yes.
In front of Bramthwaite and John Stones.
Yeah.
Cool.
All ballers in my team.
Cool.
Look at him on display, boy. And then Bellingham up front. Not Bellingham up front. Bellingham in the 10.
Mm-hmm.
Saka obviously on the right, innit? Oh, Foden stunk the place out yesterday.
Yeah.
It was terrible. And then Harry Kane up front. And then on the left, the thing is, not everybody who should be playing well on the left has been having stinky seasons. Gordon's been probably having the best season, but he shouldn't be the one you're picking. It should be Grealish or Rashford, but they've both been smelly.
So who are you picking?
I'm going Rashford, because now that I got Trent, we're doing like, we're telling Rashford, just make the run. Because Trent is here, innit?
okay.
And I think Gareth could buy into that.
100%.
I think that's something Gareth could definitely buy into.
Yeah.
So Abs, go on. Give us your starting 11 for England for the Euros.
I would probably go, obviously, Walker right back, Trippier left back. I still go Ramsdale in goal, man. I just think he's just better.
He is a better keeper.
Yeah, he's a better keeper. I'm probably going to go, like, centre-backs. I would probably go John Stones and Brathwaite as well, man. I think Maguire holds down sometimes, but he's just too prone to mistakes now, and he does get a bit... He makes a few mistakes and gets a bit shook sometimes, and it's jarring because he does it all the time, and it's just you don't feel confident as fans watching it, or if you're playing with him, you don't feel confident in him, right? And then I'm gonna bust it, bro. Manu with
you have to be after that campaign.
with Rice, Manu with Rice, Bellingham in the 10, Kane up front. I'm gonna have Foden on the right, and I'm gonna have Foden on the right, and I'm gonna have Rashford on the left. And I love Saka, don't get me twisted, but I just think that Foden is literally world class. And Foden, he knows how to play in the small spaces. He knows how to dribble past players in a certain particular way. He can switch positions with players so seamlessly. That's something Saka can't. But at the same time,
we've got Ali's team. We're gonna put that out.
I'm gonna yeah. That's the team I'm gonna go with. I think it's dynamic enough where you've got late runs and all that kind of stuff.
Saka is going to be... This guy, he might be the player of the year at the end of the season, yeah?
Behave.
No, he might be. What? That's if Arsenal... Foden could be the player of the year also. But Saka might be too. Just go on. Like, I don't understand why you're... Have you not been watching the Premier League?
No, I have.
So
I love Saka. I actually love Saka. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah, so
I
he
think
could
he's
be
a fantastic player.
First of all, Gareth Southgate is definitely picking him. Because he always picks him and he's been he's been like the player of the year that last.
Yeah, so if we gonna play Saka, I'd play
Foden
Saka
on the right.
I'd play Saka on the left and Foden on the right, and they can interchange, and it would be fun.
I can't believe that. You know what the thing is? The reason I'm not gonna argue is because I don't care about England. But Saka, in fact, for me, it's better. Let him have a rest this summer. We play him too much. Let him not play any games. Chill out. That'd be better for as an Arsenal fan. But I just think that.
So a big omission for Bukayo Saka and Abs' team.
Yeah, but that's only for the benefit of the team, not because I don't think he's a good player.
Saka's a very good team player, bro. He plays well
but in regards to the team that I've picked, only that reason. So, for example,
I think he's been better in England shirt than Foden.
But for example, if you then took Manu out, yeah, you put Bellingham next to Rice, and then you put Foden in the 10, and then Rashford and then Saka on the right, that would be hard as well.
I think you can't
Foden
do that.
play.
Bellingham's been so good.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll give you mine. Yeah. I'm gonna go with.
This United. Why do United love City so much? And Haley's here saying Foden player of the year.
You know what? It's not a bad shout.
He's such a good player, though.
No, it
like,
is.
You have to respect the source, man. And
I think he's
did
good.
it against us as
I
well.
think he's overrated. Maybe that's why. Maybe because he's always good against United. You have like.
I don't think he's overrated.
I think I don't think he's any. Like he hasn't delivered on his obvious talent. Like this is the first season we're starting. He's starting to.
Yeah. Well, sorry. Go pick a team in it, and then we can argue the second.
Basically, I'm gonna go with So my team's going to be inspired by a little bit by how I think Gareth Southgate will actually do it. It's not just, you know, the England team. But anyway, my England team, I'm going to go with Pickford in goal, just because he's never put a foot wrong for England. Yeah, so I'm going to keep it that way. I don't think he's going to make any mad changes like, you know, Ramsdale or nothing. Ramsdale hasn't played either, so.
Yeah, me and Haley picked the same team. Shout out to Haley from Great Marshall.
I'm going to go with Kyle Walker right back. And I'm going to go Maguire and Stones at centre-back. Just because, again, I think Maguire, he's played his best football for United for a while this season. He's kind of back. He's been back to his best, I think, this season for United. And he hasn't really had many bad games for us this season. So I think he's on form. Deserves to probably play. Branthwaite, obviously, is a good player, but he hasn't played for England. And I think he's young. And I think he will end up being that starting position soon enough, but I think this is Maguire's. Maguire's played for England for 3 tournaments now, back to back. So
he's not going to change.
I don't think he's going to change that, and also that's important experience. I think plays a part there. So yeah, Maguire and Stones at centre back, and I'm also going to go with. So this obviously, you heard the campaign for Kobbie Mainoo. So I'm going to Kobbie Mainoo, Declan Rice in midfield. I think Kobbie Mainoo complements Declan Rice and Bellingham so well. And Bellingham in front of them as a number 10, but also he's going to...
I didn't rate him either. I'm just laughing at my Declan Rice.
Declan Rice, Bellingham and who?
Declan Rice, Bellingham and Kobbie. 100%. Yeah, that's my midfield 3. And I think I've said enough about Kobbie Mainoo, but I think his game complements so well, just anything, because he's... I don't think you could say enough good things about this guy, genuinely. I think anything isn't too mad. Anything you could say about him. But anyway, moving on. I think the front 3 picks itself. Yeah, and that's Kane, Saka on the right, 100%, and Foden on the left. And I don't know how both of you... No, I don't know how Mohamed left Foden out.
I told you, I've got Rashford. I'm doing Trent to Rashford.
Because Foden...
How many goals that is?
Foden this
on
season...
The counter, poof.
Foden this season...
Having a Liverpool player in your team, kind of.
In the Prem Champions League, well, in all competitions, he's got 16 goals and 11 assists, bro, this season, which is crazy.
Foden's had a great season.
In the Premier League alone, 11 goals, 7 assists.
He's unlucky that he's
been
Bellingham and Saka right now.
Like, Foden, for me, has been...
It's not like Foden's bad. Foden would play most other times, isn't it? But right now, there's Saka and there's Bellingham.
Well, Ali said, you know, he has a shout for being a footballer, and he actually does, in terms of his numbers and the way he's been playing.
But he put Saka in the team as well.
So Saka right and Foden...
For me, it has to be Saka on the right. Saka's been amazing.
I think Saka, if Gareth Southgate, and I think anyone, the way he's performed in English, you'd have to be a very, like, mad manager.
Bro, Saka as well.
He hasn't let him down, innit? Even when England have been bad, like against France.
One thing I will say as well with Saka and Foden is their intelligence on how to play a ball into the box, whether it's along the floor, whether it's crossing the ball or something like that, is fantastic. It's actually really
Saka in all comps this season.
One thing Rashford isn't that good at.
Bro, Rashford stinks.
There for the outlet.
I'll tell you now, Rashford, yeah, he stinks. And you know what it is? He's a good player, but I think the way he's been playing this season doesn't warrant a starting spot in that team. And I love Rashford, and I've been beating the drum for him a lot.
His form has slightly picked up recently. He's got 10 games to the end of the season. United,
he
going
definitely
for the FA Cup, and they have some. I don't know if the 5th makes it, but they can't give up on the league. Even though I don't think they'll go anywhere,
they
have to take the league seriously, innit? So he's got enough time to pick up form that you can be like, you know what, he's done it before, and he's in a good vein of form, innit? And in the last couple of games, like I said, he's not playing great, but he's just looking a bit better. Like he could be on that his little purple patch that he has once every like 18 months.
He needs to see Richarlison's psychiatrist.
Yeah, I hear that. But I said at the start of the season, Richarlison's bound to have a better season because he's not as bad as he was last year.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a 1 goal a season player, innit? No matter how like shit he is.
Rashford's 8 goals, 6 assists so far this season. But it's been picking up in the last maybe since January, but
it's still not great.
It's
I'm saying if he can build on it in the last 10 Premier League games, your FA Cup run, that's enough game time. Now if he gets 7 goals between now and the end of the season, say, which he can go on a run and do, you could be like, fair enough, he's playing well.
Saka's on 16 goals, 12 assists. Foden's on I think it was 16 and 11. Bro, you can't. I don't think Rashford can play in that team. If
he don't deserve it.
He don't deserve it. But
then you're
anyway,
playing Rashford or Saka out of position.
And obviously Harry Kane, we know.
I mean, Phil Foden or Saka, you're playing one of them out of position.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Foden.
Harry Kane.
No, I think Foden can play on the left. He can play on.
Rashford can't.
So Saka used to be a left back. Don't talk to me about versus.
No, Foden can play on the left.
Yeah, but that's what I said.
They're both footballers, and they both play for clubs where you need to be able to play in multiple areas of the pitch. Because even Saka now, I've seen games recently, like since we've come back from January actually, because people are so used to picking up, he's been making them run inside like a centre forward to like try and find different things, and he's doing it well. So they're both, but we know this is Gareth Southgate. He wants his winger to say left. You know, want him to say wide. He doesn't want him like.
I think I want to give a shout out to Ivan Toney as well, man. I think if he gets a chance, he'll do bits.
I think Ivan Toney is a good option to have on
I think
the bench.
he's a bit of a waste man.
Harry Kane is.
Nah, his personality jars me.
Yeah.
I don't think he's as good as he thinks he is. He keeps being rude to Brentford for no reason. Like any chance he gets, he'll just embarrass Brentford. And Thomas Frank and these man are stuck by him, bro. They did like fireworks when he come back, all of that. He can't just shut up till the end of the season, like. You know what I mean? It's like.
Okay, but as a footballer, I think he's.
Nah, he's a good player.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
So,
I
yeah.
think Ollie Watkins. I think Ollie Watkins deserves to start next. Yeah, after Kane. If anything.
The season Ollie Watkins had, yeah, he's been.
If anything were to happen to Kane, it would be harsh for Ollie Watkins.
He's on what, like 13 goals and
And
10
like 10
assists or
assists,
something this season.
Now he might have
Sick.
more than 13.
I think that's just in the Prem,
That's really good.
which is sick. So yeah, he's been sick this season, Ollie Watkins.
But while we talk about England, because obviously I put this out to the chat, we're talking about the England national team, and then obviously a couple of man responded, so I'm going to say what they did. But let's set it out, innit? So Henry Winter posted what should be an innocent photo of 4 England players: Kyle Walker, Marcus Rashford, Bellingham, and who is the 4th one?
Was it Manu? No, it was.
It was
Ivan
Ivan
Toney.
Toney.
It was Ivan Toney.
Correct.
So much talent. Nothing to see here, innit? Surely.
Yeah.
It's blowing up. Everyone keeps. Thing is, people keep quote. I keep seeing it like quoting, and no one's saying why. And then one person makes it bait, and the comments are outrageous. Well, we see him. We could go back to all sorts, innit? You know the thing, racist abuse. This isn't that.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, and I'm gonna find the tweet for banter. Obviously, they highlighted how bad an English team would be if it didn't have any. So not even Irish. Obviously, Declan Rice and Grealish. Them man did the madness where they had Ireland. They played Ireland.
They snaked the country. Yeah.
So they were like, what would a team look like, innit? And it was pretty dire, innit? We're trying to find it now.
Yeah,
that
would be hilarious.
But basically, yeah, my point is, like I said, I'm going to pull up this team right now because it was so bad that I remember looking at it like, wow. But also, like, me personally, I said some outrageous stuff during the game yesterday because the way European countries are moving. Because France, you can't fast if you're in like, if not the full team, but any from the under 21s down.
Yeah.
They ban their players from fasting.
Yeah.
That's a crazy. Obviously, Lamine Yamal, who's 16 years old, by the way, yeah, post a picture of him and Nico Williams in the gym. Spanish people, they're not having that. They're playing for Spain. You know what I mean? So Europe's on a crazy one right now. I don't know what's going on. But, yeah. Anyway, I just got this team up before I do my segue. So this team now will be all English born. Yeah, and it's actually wrong because we've got Anthony Gordon and he's Scottish. It would be Pickford at the back, Dunk, Stones, Eiling at right back, Luke Shaw at left back, Henderson, Ward-Prowse, Longstaff, Danny Ings up front, Phil Foden, so there's one world-class player there, and then Anthony Gordon. Like I said, we know he's Scottish, isn't it? Yeah.
So if it was Anthony Gordon, who'd it be?
If it wasn't Anthony Gordon, you got Jamie Vardy. That's how they're going now. They're going Jamie Vardy. I don't know who it would be. I guess you could play the other Longstaff. Maybe
He can't play on the left.
Lewis Miley don't look like he's all English. He looks like there's something European there or something. So I don't know. But yeah, that's the point. But my point is,
Yeah, because you couldn't have Tarkowski because he's Polish.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So Dunk and Stones. Maguire is Irish, I think, as well, so he couldn't be in the team.
Mad.
That's why he's not in the team. But
anyway,
the point is, so obviously my
Henry Winter tweet, right? This is where it started. Let's go
Yeah.
back to this conversation, right?
That's what we're talking about, but
So Henry Winter tweet. Let's go back to where it started. You got, like I said, so much talent. I've got the tweet up ahead in front of me, right? And
he also put it up on the Insta.
He also responds on the tweet. He goes, when I look at this picture, I see from left a coveted finisher, world's best right back, a mercurial attacker who fed hungry kids, and a top scorer in La Liga. I see elite English talent nurtured in Northampton, Sheffield, Manchester and Stourbridge. Sad to see the racism in some of the replies.
You know the maddest thing is as well, is because obviously Kyle Walker and Jude Bellingham have white parents. Mark Bellingham has done a great job raising his two kids from all intents and purposes. They look like they're both, you know what I mean, well mannered, like with the world at their feet. Him and the mum, you know what I mean? Like, he deserves some credit. I don't know about Kyle Walker's parents. Kyle Walker's a bit of a piece of shit off the pitch. But he's also English, you know what I mean? He's not like, they're not English. Like, them two are just catching the craziest strays. Because like, you're like, it's that whole thing. It's like, yeah, they've been, I don't know.
Ousted from what they actually are.
Yeah, like they are English, isn't it? Like they have English parents, you know what I mean? And I have to say, Mark Bellingham should be a role model for English parents.
Even like Trent and Reece James, they're mixed, right? So they're half English as well.
But I'm just saying, like, but those four, those four are in the pictures. So obviously we get the racist abuse and all that. And the reason why why we're gonna have this conversation is because me and Maz, we sit on opposite sides of the table here, innit?
Okay.
So I don't support England. From young, because when I was born in 1990, innit?
Okay.
Yeah. So the first story I ever see about football was John Barnes getting a banana dashed at him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's the first time I even really.
And that's why you support Arsenal, I'm guessing, because like loads of.
I support Arsenal because of Dennis Bergkamp, so I'm gonna go actually. He was just a baller, innit?
But like growing up, a lot of black kids.
I think
Arsenal because they had
brothers supported Arsenal. There was definitely a cultural thing.
Yeah.
I think I was maybe too young to clock, but it definitely probably had like an osmosis or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was like that thing where I was like, I could never support the England team, innit?
Yeah.
And obviously, like, and this ain't, listen, England is not the England football team, innit? The England football team and its fans are an institution, innit? And that institution behaves in a way that is still a lot more racist than most parts of society. From the way they chant, from how they treat their players, even, and the media doesn't help, I'll be honest, yeah? And I've gone into deep, like, I've written, like, paper on this. I know the media doesn't help with how they report on their players and coverage and all that. And like I'm basically before Madison said I want to put out the 2 points that the people in the group in the Instagram put out because I think they were good. It was good in thing, and you know what I mean. We deserve to shout them out.
Good points that were made, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So it was ET Media UK.
Shout out Ethan, by the way.
Yeah, so there's Ethan. Yeah, so Ethan. He said basically, first he think ethnic players should make a conscious effort to not represent major international teams if possible anyway. Would further strengthen nations such as Jamaica, which should benefit from increased pool of talent to choose from. Can imagine Jamaica make the World Cup every time players who could represent them did. Now before I go on to the next one, I agree with him, but I want to be fair and say that it's not always, they don't always get treated the same if they grow up in the West. And that's a failure on like African countries, part of like teams I'm talking about, whatever. That they don't always.
We need to do better as African nations.
I'm very happy with what Morocco are doing. The way they brought Brahim Diaz in, this manager seems to get it.
Yeah.
He's bringing man who've like grown up and understand it's not their fault that they grew up in another country. So we're not going to treat them. We're not going to like punish them for it because there's this whole thing like, he doesn't speak the same as us. So I'm saying I'm going to be fair and say I can understand. And the FA, to be fair, if you're a young football player, might do things for you along your like development that would make you want to play for England. If you're a young, because if you're a young player in the system, they might have, it could be a million positive things.
They bring through their players as well.
Yeah, there'd be a million positive things they could do for you, innit? And you might want to repay that, which again is understandable. These are like personal things, innit? So there are reasons why they want to play things. So I asked him, just straight up, innit? How do you feel about ethnics supporting like the team while these issues still are about, innit? Well, we know if Kobe Manu goes and he has a stinker and he costs England something, it's not going to be the same as if Cole Palmer has a stinker.
Correct.
Yeah. Now, we know this is going to happen.
We even talk about Palmer in the squad. That's mad.
Yeah. But, you know what I mean? So we know these things are going to happen, innit? So I said, why are you doing? And he's like, and he said, he said it was a complicated issue. Wait, how did I just do it?
Also shout out Cole Palmer.
Yeah, shout out Cole Palmer.
Yeah. If he'd been in the squad, I guess, if he's English.
Oh no, I deleted it. That's mad.
Why?
I didn't mean to.
You fool.
Yeah, how do you
Muhammad's out here deleting comments on the Instagram, but
Undelete them,
he's
bro.
doing.
Is there a way you can undelete them? It weren't me, bro. That's sick. But basically, he said it was a complicated issue. They got along the lines of what I was saying. I read it earlier. Oh yeah, there's so many ifs and buts with that. I think people with ethnic backgrounds find it tougher to resonate with supporters. With traditional English fans and supporters. With that being said, I think a lot of ethnic minorities, and even to a lesser extent, citizens have said countries will support the nation less than their origins or what country they feel more associated with. It's a hard one. Which is fair enough. And it is a complicated one. We're not assuming there's a right answer or an easy way to, like, you know what I mean? Go about it.
I think, like, obviously us man here, we all grew up here in England, right? So my position on it is, yeah, we should support them. Why not? We grew up here, we're part of the culture, and Britain is the culture that steals from cultures. It just is, right? And no one complains when this man's having his korma down the road when it's not from there, or like the Turkish kebab, or all this kind of stuff. And we've had this conversation with those kind of examples several times, yeah? But it's who you, like, what you identify as, right? Like Marcus Rashford, he has got Ghanaian parents, right? But my man is a Mancunian. He's a Manc, and he's lived there. He's gone to school with these people. He's played football for his whole career in an English club, in an English institution, doing things for England, right? So like he has every right to be there. And the thing is, right, like we can complain that the media and this that blah, but that's not all the people, man. And majority of them love seeing these players, if they're good players, playing for England. And love seeing them win and play well and score. And even to, we're talking about Barnes, right? Back in the day, there's so many England fans that still love him, right? Yeah. So it's not that, like, just because there's a few people who hate doesn't mean that the whole country does, right? And of course, yeah, we're a minority, and yeah, we're never going to be the majority in this country and all of that kind of stuff. And it's mostly in like cities and places where the immigrants go to, so we can, you know, do something with our lives. So we're not going to be in the villages, and we're not going to be in the certain places in the Midlands and the North and things like that, where it's predominantly white. However, it's not to say that everybody has a mentality. It is a small group, and it's the people that talk the loudest, because the people that don't want to spout negative shit don't really go online and say
we know. Listen, we
like
know
that.
Instagram and all that is a very, like, it's not a real representation of the world.
Of the world,
and
yeah.
there's people, like I said, a lot of time doing it for reactions or whatever that. So you do have to take it with a pinch of salt, but at the same time, let's not pretend like we have.
Look, before
you've got to be in the middle, innit? I just want to put what Future Football said, which is that basically he's going to support them because he supports the players and they deserve to be there and that thing. Yeah. And I get that. Listen, when I see Declan Rice playing football yesterday, I was enjoying watching it. And when Saka scores a goal for England, I celebrate a bit. But I don't want England to win. Like,
see, I do.
But do you not want England to win, or do you not want England to win, or do you not want those racists that you know that support England? You don't want them to win.
I don't care if it's like
that's what I
the
think
England
it is more.
football team.
You don't want the people that you feel like that make your life more difficult for being black.
The England football team. No, it's not
I agree with that.
It's not England the country. It's the England football team. It's an institution. Just like the police is an institution. You know what I'm saying? And this institution has proven to be still more racist than most of society. You can get away in a football ground in an England game saying more racist shit than you can on a normal street. A normal street, a white person is way more likely to pull you up on it.
I don't think you can anymore.
No, definitely. Now football.
I've been to England games. I've been to an England game recently.
Yeah, imagine. And forget just racism.
Just looking at the crowd and stuff and see
imagine, let's move it away from racism. Tragedy chanting. You think if you did that stuff on the street, a normal person would say to you, "Are you alright?" Of course they would. No, it's not different. It's
even if you're chanting, if United. Just a normal United chant. No. Down the street, people will be like,
forget about chant. If you just said the word of United chant, people would be like, oh, he's a United fan. They wouldn't say anything. If you said the words of what people say for tragedy chants in a normal conversation, even the same person who wouldn't care at a football game will pull you up on it.
Yes. Yeah, so what's your point anyway?
I'm saying to you, so that institution of the England football team, with its fans associated with it, is still very racist.
I don't think England football fans can get away with chanting racist things anymore. I don't think
But they regularly abuse their players for being black.
Yeah, but that's
more. That's more.
All of football.
More time.
No, it's not. It doesn't happen at
Mohammed, can I just explain?
Saka has missed penalties that cost us titles.
Let me respond.
He doesn't get racist abuse.
I say quite. Listen, guys. I stay quiet, Mohammed.
Because they want to rinse people.
No, I stay quiet for a while. I'll let you have your bit because I want to just get it all out, and then let me just make my point on it. Yeah. you know what? Before I even make my point, I just want to start by saying, I'm going to start by actually reading some of the responses under this Henry Winter tweet, right? That obviously are so embarrassing. No ethnic English. Who cares about their talent if they're not English? Young English kids will look at Africans and Arabs taking over the sport and will feel justly frustrated, right? So there you go. Arabs, right?
And why would the white people feel justly frustrated?
So few
I
Englishmen.
watch white players, I like them all the time.
Yeah.
Declan Rice, love him.
Yeah.
And
It's true, Oscar didn't have that hate on that level, yeah.
And no kid does. Kids don't
We
have
love Harry
hate.
Kane. We
I
love
mean,
him.
kids, yeah, this guy loves Harry Kane.
I love him.
anyway, yeah, I love Harry Kane. But anyway, a lot of the comments are coming of that ilk, yeah. And you got man like Joey Barton responding to it, talking stuff about how these players are more interested in being like Drake than they are being, which is racist
But he
as
did
well.
pick up Bellingham.
But you can't pick and choose.
Yeah.
Because this is the whole like, oh, he's a good black one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah,
it is.
True,
It's like
true.
I fall into the paradigm of what being a good black person
Yeah,
is
but I don't
for
think
Joey
he's
Barton.
saying, I don't know. I don't think Joey Barton.
Nah, he's trolling.
Just
No,
for the,
Joey
just
Barton
for
is
the black
racist.
thing.
He is racist.
Yeah,
He probably is racist.
Even the
His
type
whole
of things
drive
he's saying,
now,
he's
even
saying
like the LGBT
they want to be the rapper. They want to be the rapper Drake. Why they want to be the rapper Drake? None of them are
He
dressed like a
doesn't know
rapper.
any rappers.
He's
other
just
than
talking
Drake,
about.
though.
No, I'm saying like
Talking about him wearing the
he's talking
earrings
to
or
rap.
whatever.
He talks straight away. He moved it to rap, which is an industry that's predominantly dominated by black people, right?
Okay. Yeah.
He moved straight. He is racist, bro. There's
Basically.
no two. Bro, his
I don't
brother's
know
in
why
prison
we
for
talking
murdering a black
about
guy.
I'm not
Joey
saying
Barton.
he's not racist.
I'm saying
by the way, but-
that's my
I'm
point.
saying,
That's
why
what
are
I'm
we
saying.
talking about Joey Barton?
A lot of the problems we're seeing with the English, I'm just saying
course he
the response to the tweet. I'm well aware of the attitude of some English people.
He tweeted about the flag, but he was
But
part
like-
of the Rainbow Laces.
like you
He
said-
got exposed, didn't he?
A lot of the people are talking about Kyle Walker as an Arab, right? And I want to start there because this shows you that these people don't even watch football clearly, or yeah, because they don't even know who Kyle Walker is.
Kyle
to be
Walker.
saying
It's Kyle Al Walker, right?
Al Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, his
what
name
it
is Kyle, and he's so
Al Walker.
like he's actually very clearly English. You ever heard him speak? If you ever like
He got annoyed at Bellingham for saying vamos in the training clip. Him and Grealish sat there and they see Bellingham go vamos. He's like, "But calm down, Jude." He's like, "You're from Birmingham." They don't even like him saying vamos.
But
I've
this-
never heard of anything
Even
more
though he
English.
plays in Spain.
If you've
I've
heard him
never heard
speak,
of anything more
he's
English
such a
than that.
Sheffield guy. He even said in his interview the other day, "I want to go back and retire at Sheffield United because that's the club I got brought through." The guys played for England through the age groups, even going people like Kobe Mainoo, right? And this is why I support England now. I didn't support England when I was born in '95. I wasn't that. I grew up in a very similar era to the era you grew up in. Yeah, I saw a lot of that shit. The England team in 2002, I didn't support. I didn't resonate with them, even though they were sick. I didn't resonate with them. The England team in 2006, even when Rooney was coming through, and I loved them, whatever, blah blah. I didn't resonate with them like that. But this England team, I think England has changed a lot in the era, in the time that we've been in England specifically, in the past 20, 30 years. I think the standard of what actually is what is a person you would see in England on an everyday, what is an Englishman, right? That changed a lot. If you go to London now, I think what is an Englishman, you wouldn't be able to pick. Do you know what I mean? And Britain itself, if you want to look at the history of
Let's
Britain.
talk about Britain. Let's talk about the England football.
But hold on, let me just make my point. It brings it round to my point. Hold on. Let me just make my point. Don't stop it a little bit because it does otherwise sound like it's disjointed. But as Britain as a country, I was having a conversation with this old white man the other day, and he was saying there is no such thing as being British. Britain is specifically as a land throughout its history has just been conquered by many different people at different times, right? And right now, what being British actually means, it just means of what is available today in Britain. And if you walk around in London, for example, it's 50% non-white, over 50% non-white in London, right? Again, you're talking about going up into the Midlands or Manchester. People like Kobe Mainoo, if you hear him speak, he sounds like a 40-year-old Mancunian.
We
Do
all
you know what I
agree
mean?
he's English. We're not disputing you. I'm saying
Hold on.
national team.
He came
We all
through.
agree he's
We
English.
talk about this racist institution, and bro, it's not just the English FA. I think most institutions in England are racist, right?
Yeah, but some
we
more than
understand that
others.
growing
like
up.
the police is more racist than the NHS. Even
Of
the
course.
NHS is racist. We understand that.
But
I'm
this,
saying to you,
the institutional racism.
that's one that's way more behind.
Institutional racism is something that's built into things that it's going to take a long time to root out. it will take a long time to root out. But it doesn't mean that black people or people in those like us can't thrive in this country, which is one of the benefits, is why we're still here, because you can still, even if it's harder for us, we can still thrive in a lot of these institutions. Now, players like Kobe Mainoo, who England have brought throughout the ranks from when he was a kid.
Can I question that
point? He's been playing for England through the age academies, right? And they've nurtured him. They've probably taken him away on you know what I mean, camps abroad, and you know what I mean, to little tournaments, and they've helped nurture his game or whatever. So, like Mohammed said earlier, it's very fair for him to be like, you know what? I feel like I need to pay this back and represent them on the national stage, and it would be unfair for me to say go and represent Ghana right now, because I haven't had any connection with Ghana. I haven't played for Ghana or whatever, blah blah. And I was brought up in Stockport. I'm not from Ghana. My heritage is Ghanaian, but I'm from Stockport, right? And it's the same, I think, even with us. We're from Sudan, but where we grew up and where we brought up was in Cowley. Like, that's where we're from.
Talk for me. Okay.
So, that's where I'm from. At the end of I'm from Sudan, of course. I'm from many places, but predominantly my understanding about life was built in the UK, right? So a lot of these players now, I think, they're starting to reflect this ever-changing landscape of what Britain is, right? In this football team today. Even the white players. Players like Declan Rice, you're seeing him doing a zonto, you're seeing him eating jollof rice and talking about pounded yam, and do you know what I mean? And we know Declan Rice.
That's what the team's like.
These are the white people in Britain that I grew up around. These are the type, not maybe different from the type of white people that my older brother, Shia, might have grown up around. Because when he came, the average type of white guy wasn't like Declan Rice. They were more like Joey Barton. So my point is, the Joey Bartons are getting phased out. They are.
That's not why I don't support the team. We all agree the players are likable and it's a multicultural.
So I support.
That's not
like Miraj said in the comments. I genuinely think I support these players. Yeah, because I think they actually represent what's going on the street. They're representing Mandem. These lot are Mandem. When I'm looking at man like Declan Rice, I know man like him. I know man like Saka. I've seen these man. I grew up around these man. These are man like my friends. Because this is the microcosm of what England has become now. White people are like Declan Rice. I think this England team does represent what I feel like England is for me. It has a lot of Mandem in there. It has white boys that feel like are down with the culture.
Football, bad people can thrive. That was your comment.
I think today.
Can they thrive in any position other than a player?
I'm
saying black people in the FA in England or in England.
Not very well, no.
Can they thrive?
Well, you got a black coach at the moment.
And
there is a black coach.
Who is it? Wait a minute, who is it?
Chris Ramsey.
No, they got rid of. First of all, they brought in Chris Powell, which we know is diversity. They got rid of him, and who did they bring in? Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. They're not. They really. Come on.
Okay.
Their quota hires.
Okay, but let me.
Like is Jimmy.
Chris Powell. Chris Powell wasn't a quota hire, man.
He's been
part of it. He's been pitting around the England setup for a while.
First of all, Chris Powell, if you were really doing it on meritocracy, should have got the job over Gareth Southgate. Because he's somebody who's actually more experienced, had been part, like you said,
I agree with you.
been part
There's
of the coaching setup.
There's
so
still
the
holes.
They brought
Listen,
him in back.
there's still holes in the system. I'm not saying
this.
this.
Going to help afterwards.
But what the point is, right?
After Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank does his bit of DFA, who's he going to help?
Okay, but the point isn't just about the institution, right? We're talking about fans, and we're talking about whether we should support the team, right? The institution is something.
I'm saying it's all part. Unfortunately, the team's a good bit of it, but it's it's like it's like when you see good police officers, and a lot of them are. They're doing their job, and they're not. They don't mean they're trying to do the right things. But the police is still racist.
Personally, for me, I think that's going a step further than necessary right now, because for us who watch the teams, who resonate with the teams, like Mazen's saying, right? Like me, I'm different from you lot. Yeah, I supported England in 2002 and 2006 and all those things. I did. I looked at the team. I saw players that I liked watching and I enjoyed watching.
This is no thing. My older brother supports England. He wants England to win and he might have the reason to not the most, because he would have grown up. He's like 40 something. He would have grown up.
But like I just have this understanding that I love football. Yeah, I don't have an African team, a Pakistani team to support. I'm Pakistani, right, ethnically, yeah. But I was born here, grew up with people here, and kind of my culture is based on what my parents showed me, but also what I've grown up and had here. And I've never had an issue with supporting the English team. I've never had an issue with supporting English players. And there's racism in every sport and everywhere in the world, generally, yeah? There is. Even if you go to places like our countries, yeah? So you guys are obviously a black country, right? But if you go to Pakistan, There's a lot of players that have that.
Sudan's all racism as well.
Okay, that
I
level.
don't even spoke about the dumb racism they have.
And that level of racism. You go to Arab countries and they have a level of racism, and there's problematic things all across the world. But if you look at us actually supporting the team and actually getting behind the team, I don't see no issue with it, man. Like,
no, there's no issue with it.
I'm not trying
to say issue.
There's gonna be mans chatting shit forever for everything going on ever. Just pick yourself up. Just be like, look at the team. Be like,
I'm gonna be honest.
I'm so happy with this.
I didn't rate Mazen when he's wanted England to beat Senegal because I'm like, you should want Senegal to win.
Yeah.
But I don't really care if people support England.
Yeah. But listen, I said
that was my opinion.
If I could pick a winner, it would be England. But if Senegal won, I wouldn't be happy. I'd be very, very happy for them.
Yeah, this is my opinion.
I'm not like.
I understand that.
Hey, let me make it very clear. I'm not against Senegal winning that game. Hold on.
No, you're for England.
No. I'm for England, right? But also, if Senegal would have won that game, I would have been very, very happy for them. I would have supported them and wanted them to win.
But like in general as well, let's say I'm watching the World Cup. Yeah, any European team that goes up, anybody from any other continent, I want the other team to win. Kind of generally like the South American teams, or like the African teams, or like. You know, even players that teams like in Asia and stuff like that. Like if I see Korea playing, I don't know, Germany, I want Korea to win. But it's just because it gives those other countries more what's the word? It shows them more. It shows what they can do and stuff like that. And I want football to grow. I want football to go around the world. I want every country to have the ability and infrastructure so that it grows.
You pose an experiment.
But I'm British, bro.
Before we wrap this up. If you move tomorrow to say, I don't know, pick a country.
Korea.
If you move to Korea,
yeah,
South Korea, and you were there 15, 20 years,
yeah,
could you pick up and just start supporting Korea? If you felt...
Not now. I'd still support England. Yeah? But if my kids grew up in South Korea... And my kids were like, listen,
there's no turning point.
So
like I'm saying,
so my kids were like, I'm Korean and I like the Korean national team and I'm supporting the Korean national team. I don't do it, bro. Like,
yeah, 100%.
If you're 30, you're 31, you're a bit younger. Let's say, you know what I mean, you were given a long life, Allah, inshallah, you get it.
Inshallah. And
you live 31, you have the equal amount of time in Korea.
Nah, because my roots were from Britain. So it's where I grew up and where I spent my time and where I got my morals and where I got my friends and where I got my banter and where I got my understanding of the world. That's what I'm going to support because 30 years of my life, bro. These are the main parts of my life. I'm not going to go to Korea and all of a sudden adopt Korean culture.
I agree.
Yeah, but this should be your home. But I'm trying to say to you that I don't think England needs to be your home and you need to support the English national team. I don't think they're like mutually exclusive. I don't think like one has to be with the other.
Listen,
because England will always be my home because of the roots here.
But who do you support?
African nations.
In the Euros, who are you going to support?
I'll be supporting Turkey.
Fair enough. Because you're against to Turkey, so I'm not against that.
And right? I don't really want. I told you right now the way you're.
But I think my links, even though my links to Turkey are genetic, I think my links to England for me are stronger because they're completely. It's completely.
But also, I want to make another point: is my kids are quarter English.
Yeah, he also has half.
So my kids also half.
Yeah.
Well, half Scottish, half English. Oh,
yeah. Quarter Scottish.
So
like again, I've got those links because I like married into like what I mean. Like my children are all mixed kids. They're half Pakistani, quarter Caribbean, quarter English, and they have that English side of them. So if my kids turn around and goes, oh, I want to support Antigua,
I feel like there, in that situation, you can't say anything. Like, even if you lived in, like I said, Korea, and your kid grew up was like, I want to support England because I'm English.
I want Scotland.
You can't say that.
I generally want Scotland to do well as well, just because.
Can't take away from that.
I want Scotland.
My kids got Scottish roots as well.
Their mom's half English.
I want Ireland, the Republic of Ireland in anything. They're not in the Euros, are they?
No. But either way, look.
John O'Shea's Republic of Ireland manager, isn't it?
Yeah, shout out John O'Shea. But yeah, anyway, look. I think, like I said, this England team specifically, because I would say even up to 2014, I don't know if I could resonate with the England team like that. But when this like new generation under Southgate, you've got so many players that, like I said, I feel like I know them, bro. I feel like
we all agree that
I feel like I know, but I support the players beyond anything. Yeah. And I like Gareth Southgate as much as I might not think he's a good manager. I like him as a guy. He seems like a nice, and I support him as a man. And you know what? I wish he was a better manager so that I could like him even more when it comes to being a manager. Yeah. But and I wish him well. I wish him well, and I hope he does do something with England this season. In this Euros. But like. Yeah, please don't come to United, Gareth Southgate, if this ever comes out. But look, like I said, I resonate with this England squad. I resonate with the man like fucking even like I said, I resonate with Saka, I resonate with Rashford, I resonate with Kobe Mainu, even the white boys, man, like Declan Rice, like even the blockheads like Harry Maguire. We've all got friends that I feel like I like that, and I've grown up around guys that I like that.
Dudes, like, do
you know what I mean? And the new type of geezers in the UK, the new type of pub goons aren't racist dudes, bro.
Yeah,
they actually
not.
It's their parents. It's maybe their parents that might have been like that, and unfortunately, that's a mentality. It might be institutional, but it's one of those things that unfortunately is only going to die out when those people die out as well. And those people are on the way of dying. They're closer to dying out than maybe they say we are.
No, they're not. There's the thing is, unfortunately, with the internet, you've seen that for some reason, in all of these countries, this isn't something.
No, but it's not acceptable anymore. Back in the day, in their day, it was acceptable. It was a way of life.
I feel like there was a period where it seemed like it was legitimately, in football anyway, and around the England team, felt like it was dying out. Then, I don't know if it's the internet, or if it's just everybody seems a bit more racist at the minute.
No, I think people are more vocal about it.
Yeah.
But
in the last few years, it's flared up again.
And those people, I agree that their peers are also racist, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't have these views and stuff.
But I'm saying it's got an old demographic.
Look, racism still exists. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I'm saying like the majority, bro. Look at the people.
I don't think it's a generation.
Look at where the majority of people in the UK live. Where in London. Yeah, that's the truth. That's where
that's where the majority of England fans are from.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like.
But we are talking. The reason I'm saying is we are talking about England.
Let me make the point. Yeah. The big cities, London.
To England, that's
the big cities where you go, generally the people. I believe there's still a lot of racism amongst the younger generation. But in that younger generation, it's generally only in places where there isn't a big population of black people or brown people, or there isn't a big minority population. So if you go to play in big cities, Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool, London.
The EDL were born out of Luton.
Bro,
that's not really. That's not always true, bro.
Bro, the EDL are such a small percentage of people, bro.
No, but it's just an example of people living amongst other cultures.
And even that, if you want to look at the roots of EDL and your boy, what's his face, Tommy Robinson. That was a beef between like 10 people, like, and they're all in the same area, bro.
Yeah,
and it just somehow swept across the UK.
Racism.
It wasn't like
racism is stupid. I understand that.
But my point is, a lot of nowadays.
I know the EDL didn't start in anywhere sophisticated because look at.
But
what I'm trying to say to you is that it can happen. It's not something. It's just. It seems to be bubbling up since Brexit and all of this.
Yeah, there's a lot of political tension, and a lot of it is racist.
It's manifesting in that way, and it's coming out. In the England football team, people are upset about a badge that doesn't mean anything.
There is a lot of racial tension.
These colours of the badge don't mean anything, and people are worked up.
And
nobody can see it.
I think the colour of the badge, I think it should still be just red and white, man.
Yeah, I don't understand why they changed it. Just because, what's the point?
Styling,
even as a design element, even as a design element, you can barely see it. It doesn't really add anything. Just keep it red and white to avoid like anything. Like, why would you? I don't really get it. That's just a stupid thing. But at the same time, people are so on edge.
But I feel like for me, like the Asian community, we got more room to complain. Where are we? And there's Asian ballers that will be in Canada, and they don't get brought up because you guys, like, you know, black people tend to be more athletic, tend to be a little bit faster and stuff like that.
But even that's not true. That's the obviously that's the thing.
That's the idea that they have, right?
Yeah. But that's why idea is like it has its limits. So for black people can be athletes, but they can't be coaches.
But if you
Asians have no examples.
But if we're going to complain about football and not just the English national team, and we look at people going through the academies and the systems, us Asian man don't get a look in.
Yeah, 100%.
More so than everybody else, bro.
Yeah.
And that's something that we.
But the head of the FA
still,
not too long ago said, we have South Asians in football, and then mentioned the IT team. That is the head of the FA, and you want me to support that team? I can't do it, bro.
Okay,
but the head of the FA, how old is that guy, bro?
But he runs that team, bro.
Do
you think the next person?
That's my point. These people are old, bro. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. But
they don't replace him with young people, though. They replace him with someone just like him.
No, but
who's a year or two younger.
Nah, but
that's
not necessarily true, bro.
Okay, look at the last 10 heads of FAs and show me the difference.
But the point is, those FAs.
So it is true then.
At 80, let's say when they get to 70 something, they'll replace them with someone who's 65. But eventually, that 15 years adds up. And it'll get to a point
because
where
he does his term, doesn't he? so he gets a 75. And it never goes underneath 69 because he gets a 75. Then he brings his assistant, who he's been grooming to be the same as him, to do the job.
Eventually, Mohammed, it turns a role. Eventually, it turns. It might be in 100 years, but eventually it will happen. These things take longer to root out.
Until then, when man's talking about we got Asians in IT.
But also, if you look at bro,
yeah, but how much it's changed since we've been alive?
It's better.
It's a
lot.
So like, I don't think it'll be 100 years. I think it'll be another 30 years.
It's better.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
I'm not ready to, like I'm saying. I'm not ready to support him. When I know if, like I said, as soon as Saka misses, he's going to see monkey pictures. Even now, I don't support him in the
but that's such a small percentage of mans that are saying that though. Like
it's enough to hear it though. And I don't want to. And I can't
put it this way: I've seen way more white. No, I've seen way more white.
Are we going over?
Let's go over for a bit. Why not? You know?
Yeah.
So
listen, the majority of white people are not racist.
I've seen way more white people come out and talk about how disgusting that racism was than I have seen white people online even make racist comments.
I'm not saying
but
that
they
there's
just
an equal amount
their
of
voices. Their voice. No, I'm saying their voice is so loud.
How humans are wired is that we focus on negative anyways, man. And especially British people.
Yeah.
Like we focus on like, oh, that guy said this, la la la, this is that, but then we don't look at the thousands and thousands of comments and tweets and this is that back in the thing. No, so we need to be objective and be like, do you know what? It's not as bad as we think.
I know.
And just to back his point,
most English fans are not racist.
And just to back his point,
I'm not living in a world where I think that it's the other way and the majority are racist. I understand that most of them, they don't want to hear that shit too. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to say...
And just to back that point up...
I know that it's still loud. And also, the way, like I say, the fan culture around England has, like I said, still has a lot of racism drenched in it. And to remove that, and I'm saying to you, so I can't feel a part of that. Innit? Now, if you can, that's you. This is each their own thing.
One thing I want to say as well, that would change if more ethnic people made the decisions to travel to England games as well, watch England games.
Yeah, of course. If we took over in the stand, it would make a difference.
But I do think that people worry sometimes. Like I even think,
I'm not worried. I just don't want to be sat there with them. It's not worry. It's like it's just I know what it is. I know, man. You know what I mean. And I know the thing is, I know even when they don't. Like obviously, like I said, I did a paper, so I know what shit. I know when they don't even. Because obviously, there's like some who know they're racist, and then there's that group in the middle who don't know they're racist. And like I said, the majority are racist and know how to behave. But there's a group that don't know they're racist, but it's still racist. Isn't it?
Yeah, but some people who don't understand the complexity and context of what they've grown up.
Most of those people, again, would be people who wouldn't have grown up with many non-white people in their community.
Yeah, and if you look at in like England football, if you look at England rugby in England football, that is specifically a problem in the England football team, bro. Mario Itoje's not getting it as bad as Marcus Rashford.
Yeah,
that's the reality.
Listen,
like the England football team specifically, that institution, and maybe it's to do with the hooligan, maybe it's the whole thing.
Maybe it's the fact that there's way more small town fans that support the England football team. That might be something to look into.
We could discuss the reasons for why, but it definitely does exist more in the England football team than most of English society.
Yeah, but I think the only way that's going to be edged out is if, like Ab said, we as black and brown and people who've grown up in England that is different come to the fore, like the players have come, and actually I think completely change the landscape of what an England player actually is. And we as fans should also take the landscape and change it completely to how what an England football fan actually is.
That's like saying, it's the same argument with the police. Right? If you want to change the police, if there was a lot more black and Asian police officers,
it's not as easy though.
That's completely different.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's because
after a while,
because access to it's more difficult. Yeah, access to us entering Wembley Stadium is not hard.
It's not hard, exactly. And we can do it on mass numbers with a click of a finger.
Why not?
But
it's an argument remains.
But let's put police aside for a second.
But it's the same thing.
It's going to be a lot harder to get. It's going to be a lot harder to
because with the police, it's all around the country and in every single different borough.
We have enough. Listen, I don't think it would happen. But I'm going to say to you, it's that idea of like, you can change it from within, but it's not very easy.
But brother, the power of seeing something visually, visually for an England fan. Let's say somebody grew up and they grew up in a small town and everybody had the mentality, but you've gone to now a World Cup. and every single game you're sat next to this brown brother who's cracking jokes with you, loving what's going on in the game, has the same viewpoints, has the same idea on who should play in what team, what formation they should play, this, that. That breeds familiarity. And that person could go home now and be like, you know what? I've been wrong. And the problem is that people only see when they're wrong, when they see things in front of them, they meet things in front of them that actually can change that perspective.
And that's my point.
Just like there's that one guy who, this is very left field, but there's that one black writer who was in America and he befriended the Ku Klux Klan. So much so that the head of the Ku Klux Klan left and detached himself from it just from one guy resonating with him in a friendship, right? And I think that's the point of society. So if us, man, rolled up, bro, like we go to United games, yeah, when we went to the Chelsea game, we're surrounded with white man.
And United, no, I'll tell you one thing about United games as well. If anyone heard any racism in United, bro, in the stands, mans are getting told, bro. Like, you'll get slapped up for that. But I'm saying, like, even up north, Manchester is a lot more white than Arsenal, let's say North London, but it's still... You cannot, they don't run.
In my opinion,
you know what I mean?
I can't know this, but I feel like the people who abuse England players for not being English have black friends. They will go to a United game with a coloured person and they do all those things you said. But when it comes to whatever, I'm racist. Let it be known.
He's talking about racism and he talks about coloured people.
Because I don't agree with all this. You know, all these right words and that. I'm like, when you stop being racist, then I'll say the right word.
Mohammed's right wing, you know. Yeah. He's actually a right wing guy, bro. He is racist.
I don't want to support England. I'm right wing.
Nah, he's right wing.
This.
I'm telling you, he has right wing views. The guy watches Piers Morgan, yeah, and he has right wing views.
I'm right wing. But that's neither here nor there. My point is that a lot of these people, and like I said, that do this behaviour are not racist all day. It's just when it comes something about the England football team and that mob mentality and diminished responsibility, all takes in, and they feel like this is how we can behave.
But even saying that, you don't hear. I've been in England games. You don't ever hear racist chants.
When was the last time you went to it? You don't hear racist
I think it was like 2018.
You don't hear racist chants, but you
don't hear racist chants. You don't. No, but even the vibe as a not very clearly non-white guy, yeah, bro. When I'm there. I never felt like, yo, you know what? This is a bit techie. Bro, people see me and think I'm Asian or black sometimes.
Yeah, even the media reporting around the England team isn't the same. You know, certain players, and hundreds of Sterling's exposed it, bare players have exposed it. A black player Rashford every day can't park why can't Rashford park his nice car without it being used to it?
But this is the problem with racism generally in society. That's
it's all of this.
And it's also, if you look at the media, it's going to be the same.
These are all they're all linked.
Let's have it right. If you look at the media, it's going to be the same 4 or 5 newspapers that do this stuff. We know who they are and we can name them every time.
If man's like us just
it's the Daily Mail, the Daily Star, all of these things. And they're hold on.
Everyone play for their nation and let England.
I just want to address this point by point. Yeah, Mohammed, that point you made. Yeah, like I said, you can point at probably about 4 or 5 newspapers that you know are going to be the ones, the Daily Star, the Daily Mail, these type of...
Even the ones that...
They're pandering to their readers, isn't it? And that's what they do.
Is BBC fairly fair? Doesn't go on about like those sorts of stories?
All of them, even the Guardian, can be I think, are still on borderline. But you're going to see... You're going to see what... You're going to see things...
Put a black player.
Yeah, you're gonna see more.
These are all things they do.
But you're gonna see more of the like blatant. Look at Marcus Rashford in his nice new car. You're gonna see headlines like that more in like the Daily Mail
some papers
than you would in the Guardian. But the Guardian, they might do the thing where they might pick a white player in a photo rather than a black player. I'm not saying. Listen, there's institutional racism within the media, within the UK. I've started this point agreeing with you there. My point isn't that where we go.
I don't support any of them.
Let's be honest. Football for me, also a point I want to make.
I support Arsenal.
Football for me, listen, our point I want to make is football for me is an escape. Yeah, it's an escape from society and it's an escape from a lot of the fuckeries that we experience day to day. When I go and sit in them stands, it's at least 90 minutes. I'm just focusing on the game, and everyone around me is focused on that game. Right now, I think, like what we've seen with Arsenal, like what we've seen with Man United, the reason, bro, if you go to back 50, 60 years ago. Going to games like how I go to games as a black man wouldn't have been possible because the vibe.
Arsenal been lit.
Nah, maybe Arsenal have been lit first, but they were still even 100 years ago. Say go back, bro. Those stands, you can't. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Hold on.
What's this comparison?
Let me finish my point.
To now is completely different.
Hold on, my point. So let me finish my point. Even England, let me finish my point. Even England, exactly 100 years ago to now, is so different. But even 20 years ago to now, it's so different. And in 20 years, it's going to be even more different. Right. And my point is, the reason why it's so different now in the stands is because the black...
The stands
no, for Arsenal, for Man United games and shit, it is. The reason why I'm talking about that. The reason why they're so different in the stands now is because we have claimed our rightful spot within those fans and have become part of that fan voice. We've become so strong. When you think of the most prominent Arsenal fans, you think of Don Robbie. You think of people like Troops. No, because these are the ones that put their face out and they claim their spot in the media spotlight.
I don't know.
Hold on. Please, let me finish before you come back. Please, let me finish. Hold on.
The reason why I'm saying
please, Mohammed, let me explain my point.
I'm saying it's not the same. Because England, let me
respond to me afterwards, please. I'll let you speak, bro. I'll let you speak. Let me finish. Listen, hold your horses.
That's not going to do anything.
I'm telling you the difference, right? Because right now in the media, generally, when I listen to media voices, even the landscape of the media has changed. I listen to fan voices and fucking people like Don Robbie's platform, DR Sports, whoever, shout them out. I listen to that probably more than I do listen to go on the Daily Mail or Sky Sports even to read articles, because the landscape of the media has now changed. And a lot of those faces, because I'm saying
we agree England as a society.
It depends on where you look at it. Yeah. If you're going on Twitter and you're trying to find these random little bot accounts saying racist things, you'll find them.
I'm talking about BBC. I'm talking about.
We have alternative media that we can pick now. We don't have to go to.
Let's talk about stuff like John Terry. The fact that John Terry is getting picked and man like Rio Ferdinand isn't, because John Terry's
I didn't support that team.
Yeah, but these people are still running the FA. Do you think the FA can change completely?
No, not completely.
Now, I don't think the same thing would happen. I think if the John Terry incident happened now, it would be completely different. But let's go back to what Mazda was saying.
Okay, when is it? Alright, we can argue that, but when in reality has a black player ever been done by and is favoured the black person in an England team?
But we're saying that can eventually change. So when you go back to the media issue that Mazen was saying, right? Right now, because of the internet, football fans... got a cold, guys, I'm so sorry. But we now take our football and the things that we watch from podcasts, we take it from people who have channels, people who support teams, people who don't have the mentalities like the old elite groups that they have now, because we have a choice on what media we consume. So it is completely different, because that would change mentalities across the board. Young kids...
They're not reading the Daily Mail no more, bro. Young kids. They're growing up and they're watching YouTube, bro. They're watching the Stratford Paddock. They're watching the
Have you seen these arrests for racism? It's all little kids. It's not old people. Old people aren't on Twitter. Old people will just shout it something.
Yeah, but little kids say dumb shit all the time, bro.
It's not a problem of that. Yes, what I'll say to you is the thing about new media has benefits, but also has the flip side to it. Is the people who want to listen to Joey Barton can now listen to Joey Barton every day.
Yeah, but these guys are older, man.
But I'm saying to you, you'd hope so, but we don't know that to be true. And now Joey Barton's responses are all men.
No, if you look online, you actually can see who's got a bigger audience, bro. People like Joey Barton.
We don't know the age.
But you can have, if you actually look deeper into the Google Analytics and the YouTube things, you can actually see that stuff. The younger people, bro.
And we'll discuss it.
That stuff,
we're all talking about
the younger people. I think, a lot of the content we're seeing is different now. Everything's changing. Back in the day when we were growing up, the only way we could consume football content was going on places like the Mail Online and going on places like Sky Sports and the BBC and X, Y, and Z. That was the way you found out about transfers. That was the way you found. Nowadays, no one does that.
Has this made right now?
No, but I'm saying as
that happened a few days
you can grow up as an England fan and consume England content that has nothing, no racist. I'm just responding.
Regular tweet.
Hold on, I'm responding.
We're talking about something mythical here. So
if you go on the tweet, actually, funnily enough, if you go, hold on, if you go on the tweet right now and you look at the responses, speaking of that tweet, you will see the responses have been largely overtaken by England fans who aren't racist, and they're talking about how this racism disgusting. And now that those racist comments now have been drowned out.
First of all,
and if you've been on Twitter recently, you see how hard it is to drown out racist comments.
First of all, they've been drowned out, bro.
If
I go in there right now, it won't take me long to find the racist.
No, you'll find them, but
a lot of them,
between literally maybe 10 or 15. I'm just on the tweet now.
Remove loads. It's not
no, Twitter barely remove anything now. You go on Twitter recently.
First of all, Henry Winter would.
You can post anything.
Would have removed them. There's people
you
who
can
move
just
feet
porn.
all the time, bro.
Hey, well, you
I'll go on
can't.
Twitter. Yes, you can, but plenty of people remove. You can't remove
It-
comments.
At the rate that he's at the rate that they're putting it out, you can't delete all of them, bro.
Yeah,
And
you
if he
don't
would,
delete all
and if he
them.
would have deleted some of them, he would have deleted all of them. Why wouldn't he? And I don't think he deleted any of them because the ones that I saw 3 days ago are still there today.
The fact of the matter is, it was enough for it to go viral for the whole world to notice it again. There's racism, and then there was a war. And like I said, because England's not a racist country, people responded to that and said, "Nah, this is stupid." It called it out for what it is, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Let me go back to something. Yeah, if racist English people and that supporters were consistent, they would be the same as the England colonies. One second. As the English colonizers would do, use the immigrants to their advantage. These men should be happy. That's what you've been doing.
No, but that's what they do. When it goes well, they don't mind having a chanting Saka's name.
Yeah.
But when it goes bad, who gets the blame?
And this is another point I want to make. This is another point I want to make. Yeah, this is another point I want to make. Fuck them guys, and I'll tell you what. When England eventually wins something, they're not gonna, whether they like it or not, they're gonna have to remember people like Saka, Rashford.
And that's when we get our
they're the
flowers.
people that won it for them, and they can never ever wipe that out of the history books.
Who won the World Cup for France?
It was an African team.
Yeah. Who was the guy? Who was the star of that
But
team?
again, I'll never remember.
Yeah, but right now, how will France?
Kante, Pogba,
And
Mbappe.
I'm saying the first one. Henry, who is the captain, the guy.
Vieira, Desailly,
Of course.
Zidane.
An Algerian Muslim. Now they're like, you can't fast. So while you think that might make a difference, history that we can look at, you don't make that much of a difference,
France
bro.
and England are different, bro.
When they look back on the history,
France are a more savage.
Mohammed, when they look back in the history
but
books,
they're very similar.
you know
They're
what?
more similar than
When they look back on the history books, they're gonna see, even though we've been racist, the people that have won us things are black
won't stop them
and
being
Algerian and African.
And unfortunately, they won't think, oh, thank you. They'll be like, they're lucky we let them
But
play.
this is what I'm saying.
No,
yeah?
but you know what?
Listen.
It depends on who's looking back on history. Because if you look back,
we're kids, yeah. Imagine we're kids and we're watching the World Cup, and I don't know. Let's put a player out like Manu or Rashford or Saka scoring 90th minute in the World Cup final, scoring a goal. Every single youth, no matter how black that brother is, they're gonna be that. Oh my gosh, I want to be like him.
Listen,
And that breeds a change in mentality.
they want to be like them
It does.
anyway. Because
Football
when they
changes
see him
that
score for
players make that
United,
change.
when they see Manu score for United, they want to be Manu. That's why Arsenal is the way it is, because man wanted to be Henry. Man wanted to be Vieira.
Yeah.
That's why these men already got their heroes now, bro. Now, you're saying they needed to feel English. If they
no,
didn't
because
listen-
back in the day, the England fans were growing up and they wanted to be Glenn Hoddle.
Like the new generation, if they saw that, they're gonna change. Bro.
Like, if you look at the people that are responding racist, like let's say one of the most prominent people, Joe Barton, was one of them. He was talking about the English players like Glenn Hoddle and this, bro. If you say them names to people right now, they don't know who they are. They never watched them play. These are the players that people when they're 40, 50 years old grew up watching. They're like, they're the players you watch. Nowadays, bro.
Yeah, but so lots of players,
do you know what I mean?
Bad people, but we're not.
These
racism hasn't gone away. Everything you're saying has happened.
Of course it hasn't. Mohammed, what's your point? Because my point has never been that racism has gone away. My point is that it's heavily. My point is, I don't think it's embedded. I think it's a small part of
it's
it.
something that's never gone away and has been there since the start. That's literally something that's
okay.
But the point that I made earlier is, if we have the mentality that we just simply give up on it, then it's never.
It's never going to change.
I don't need to change in the football team.
It's not my priority either. But personally,
we're talking about the wider community as well, right?
Listen, I don't begrudge any thing, but I just know.
And I'll tell you the truth.
If England lose and a black player does bad,
if my kids,
they're gonna give you funny looks as you're walking out.
Bro, if my kid, let's say,
because that's how that thing works.
Let's say if my kid grows up, yeah, and he's good enough to play for England, Sudan, Scotland, whoever, right? The teams that he's gonna be able to represent, Fiji or whatever, right? He can pick between them, yeah. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. If he's good enough and he's been playing for England for as long, I want him to play for England.
Yeah,
bro.
man.
That's up to you. But you're playing for England because it's the best team.
No,
this is also why a lot of black players also do choose England, because they're like, that's my best chance.
Not even that, my best chance. Not even that. Let's say.
he's like, I don't rate England.
let's say even if
but
Sudan,
he's German, innit?
let's say even if
Exactly.
Sudan had a decent chance of winning, let's say the AFCON or whatever, like I personally would say play for England because, bro, I've grown up. I've grown up.
I say tend to play for England.
He's grown
Sudan,
up. He's grown
if
up.
Sudan won the AFCON,
Hold on.
you know how much of that?
He's grown up playing
You know what
football.
that would do for Sudan?
He's grown up playing football in England.
Nah, chat to your boy.
Yeah, listen. He's grown up playing football in England.
Your boy could be a Sudanese hero.
But he's
Fix the country.
he's been brought up playing football in England,
I
right?
understand that.
He's come through the ranks in England.
But
The
he's
FA
also got
probably
an
helped
English
his
mum
progression
as well,
and made
like,
him
it's
play.
like you're
Yeah,
seeing
I
the
hear
culture,
that. But I'm going to say to you is,
So
this
if-
is this good in Sudan,
If my son was like, yo, I
the
want,
impact that would have.
if he wanted to play for Sudan, I'd be like, yo, that's amazing, let's go.
But he's saying if that's the
No, he's saying he tells him to play for England.
I wouldn't tell him. I'd be like, it's your choice. I can't
Yeah,
tell him to play
100%.
for
If he
whoever.
chooses to play
But if
for
he's like, I
England,
want to play
I'll
for Sudan, I'd be like,
I
let's
can't
go.
begrudge anybody who go. Listen,
But
I said
also,
this at
but
the
this is
start.
the point again.
I
Let's
want
go
no
for another
beef
point.
with anybody who plays for
But the
England or supports
institutions,
England.
the institutions in the West
But
are
I'm
also
not.
better suited for players who live in who have grown up in England because they're used to easy, like a little bit more ease. They find
Yeah.
it very difficult going to.
Listen, Leon Bailey
the
just said he can't play for
exactly.
Jamaica because they're not serious. He's like,
Yeah,
they're not
yeah, yeah,
professional.
exactly. He's
Yeah.
like, what have I done?
And I told you, there's plenty of reasons why I understand why the players 100% play for England. Because it makes a lot of sense for them. Like I said, they might have been in the system from young. The professionalism there, they play with people they know. They speak the language. There's a million reasons why I understand why a player would play for England. Yeah, that's why I don't ever say Saka's just Saka or any of them man for playing for England. But I'm saying as a supporter, you know what, each their own, but me, I couldn't do it. Not now,
You
not
know
in this
what?
current climate. Like I said, I can't be sat there thinking, if Saka misses his penalty, he's going to get it again, man. That is jarring, bro. I feel that now, and I'm not an England fan.
No, that hurts me as bro.
So
Do you
I
think
can't really be. That's me.
Do you think
can't be
I
a part
want
of it.
young Kobe Manu to come and play sick or play shit or whatever, something happen and he gets some? I know he's gonna get dogs abuse and it's gonna be hard and it's tough, but bro, that obviously is unfortunate and it's part of society and it's horrible and it needs to get wiped out. But that's gonna take a while. And if I'm waiting for that, if I'm waiting for that to happen, it's gonna be a while for that to happen. Like
But you
even
don't have to support England.
no,
That's
but
the
let's say
choice.
for example, my boy Leeds or Dennis, who's been on the show many a times, bro. These are Sport Inter. There's been some racism that's happened with the Inter fans recently or whatever. Or like you can't stop supporting your club just because of the small minority of a few random people that have come out and said some racist stuff. Like it's your club as well, bro. Why do they have a right more to your club more than you have a right to it? Why do these racist
you're
fans
saying
have more of a right to the England
England's
team
your
than
country?
I do? Bro, I was brought up here. I was born here. I was raised here. I played football on these streets. I support an English team.
I'm not even getting into this.
My identity as a football fan is I'm a completely English British football fan.
But also,
I
where
don't
we
know
found
anything
the love
about
of football was the Premier.
No, but even when it comes about Sudan, bro, I can't sit there and tell you 10 Sudanese players, bro. I can't.
Yeah, but that's
So
because
but
that's
hold
only
on.
because Sudan's level of football is terrible.
No,
You
but
know,
there's enough-
If Sudan were like Brazil,
There's enough Sudanese
if-
out there that I
you
could
could tell
tell
me
you-
10 Nigerians, couldn't you?
Yeah, easily.
Because the level of football in Nigeria is worth paying attention
But
to.
my
That's a
point
quality
is,
thing.
no, but my point
Maybe 10
is,
South African
even
players.
Again, the level of quality in South Africa isn't very good.
Okay,
so I
Morocco.
can name you I can name 10 Moroccan players easily.
Okay, that's easy as well.
but
Because the level of quality of the player,
Okay.
you know what
But
I mean?
my-
That's a different
my
thing.
point
Like,
is-
we don't care about Croatia, but we know bare Croatia.
Okay, my point is,
True.
when it comes down to it, I could probably name way more European players than I can name African players, and that's the truth of it. Because
again,
because
we know there's a disparity
the majority-
between where players are produced.
no,
and
but
where
I
players
could no,
are
because
from.
there's plenty of I know plenty of African football fans that actually literally follow their team like deeply, and they follow these little teams and they watch these African qualifiers, and they'll tell you these players. They'll tell you who's the best
I watched the whole
They'll tell you
AFCON,
who's the
yeah.
best.
I watched the whole
Egyptian
AFCON.
and the best player from Burkina Faso. They'll tell you all of these things.
Yes, because they
But-
have access to it. Where are you going to watch it?
I personally
Online.
no, but I could find the
Yeah.
access. The access is out there.
Realistically.
Honestly, the access. If I wanted to find it, the access is out
Like
there.
you said, you get into football, you watch what's in front of you.
No, but the access is out there.
No,
Mohammed.
let's be
We're
real.
from a day. We're
Yeah,
at a time
but
now.
Like, for example,
I pick the content I consume. If
Yeah,
I
but
wanted to, I could
Let's
go and
be
find out
realistic,
and
yeah,
consume
yeah.
more African.
We know the
football
highest
content.
quality
And I
football
don't.
is in Europe. You start watching football in Europe, the amount of football available to us is crazy. Because I get through a week sometimes, and I watch so much football, I have to take a day off because I'm like, Thursdays now. Because thankfully we don't do them things anymore. Because there's so much football. If I could, I'd watch these African games. I watched one when it was on TNT Sport. They had the African Champions League on there. It was Meldani Sundowns. Yeah, we're playing an athlete, and Ahli beat them. So I will watch them when it's there, but I'm trying to say to you, let's be fair here. Nobody, when you've got all this football in front of you, is going to sit there in Europe and then start watching the South African league. If you're born in South Africa and that's the football you have access to first, it makes 100% sense.
But that's my point.
That you're gonna watch that throughout the rest of your life.
But that's my point. As a football fan, when I go and speak,
I feel like international teams.
hold on. When I speak to
when
I speak to my Sudani countrymen, yeah, and I speak to them and I'm like, yo, we talk about football. A lot of them are the type of people that I'm talking to you about that will sit there and consume football as an African football fan, because they will tell you about the African Champions League and this is where they were brought up and that's how they were brought up. I wasn't brought up like that because I was brought up in Britain and I consumed football in a British mentality. I assumed a bit, thank you, but I consumed it in that way, right? So my point is, even when it comes to them, when I'm speaking to my Sudani counterparts, bro, I'm a British football fan by every stretch of any stretch of the world,
British
right?
isn't English. You can support Scotland.
English. Sorry, I'm an English football fan, not even British. I'm an English football fan because I don't watch the Welsh league. I don't watch the Scottish league. I watch Premier League.
But I watch the Spanish league.
I watch league.
Does that make me a Spanish?
Even
football
that,
fan?
no.
Since I was a child,
I watch
I've been
the
watching
Championship.
Barcelona.
No, I watch the Championship. I watch the Premier League. I even watch League One when it's available sometimes. I watch English football, bro.
Yeah, because
that's
depending
predominantly.
on the last couple of weekends, Real Madrid been playing at 3:15 for some reason. Because of that, and the way the games have fallen, I watch as many Spanish games on the weekends as I have English games because I have access to it and the quality of football. I weren't trying to watch Burnley Bournemouth. No one Atletico Barca playing.
I'm not
it
gonna
makes
lie.
sense, innit?
Sometimes I will pick a Premier League random game like that, a relegation scrap over an Atletico.
Over a La Liga game, but not over like I would.
If it's El Clasico, it can't be. But if it's like,
no, not even El Clasico only. If it's like I said, like a.
If it's Atletico Valencia, bro, I'm watching.
It depends on the team.
Brighton.
Yeah, 100%.
Nah, Valencia now they're dead. But if it's like Girona Atletico, I'd watch that over like. It depends who Brighton are playing. Brighton are a good team. Who are the other team?
Brighton Fulham, I'll watch it.
Brighton Fulham.
I watch that. 100%.
All
But this is my point. I'm an English football fan.
I've been watching a lot of Leverkusen this season.
I
and then
might not watch.
game.
I might not watch Burnley.
Listen, I watch European football. I watch European football too. I watch a lot of Inter.
So now, you like football. You can like. Now, what I say to you is, let's give football its credit. Football doesn't need wherever people are. People watch football and they fall in love with it.
Listen, I watch a
So
lot.
I don't think being in Britain necessarily, other than you had the access.
I'm just saying that's the football we grew up watching, so we resonate with the English
But
players.
the English
that play
players,
for the English
I've
team, and we
resonated
enjoy
more
watching
with
it.
the other players though,
and like
in England, the Henrys, the Vieiras. These man resonated with me more than the Gerrards.
Yeah, but like I'm a United supporter, so I had, do you know what I mean? Scholesy and Wazza and Ferdinand.
And like, bro,
But I was
saying to you, so how's that Ferdinand thing going to make me not stop supporting?
Bro, that pissed me off badly, but like it is what it is still, isn't it? Like, I don't have control of that.
Bro, I'll tell you now.
Yeah, but you have control of your fandom.
Yeah, but John Terry is in England.
But they tried to make him captain, bro.
But he's the face of England that is getting phased out, bro. People like John Terry they're not the stereotypical English person anymore.
Listen, I told you English.
When I think of an English white person, I don't.
The England football team is more racist than England.
In 2004, hold on.
No,
but in 2004, when I thought of the stereotypical Englishman, it would look way more like John Terry than it would today.
That's all well and good, but I want to say to you, English.
Because in that 20 years, so much has changed.
I don't think the England national team or the English football institution is a fair representation of the English society. English society is actually more multicultural than the England football team. Other than the players,
but it's slowly
in terms
becoming
of the things above them, the fans,
but it's
all
slowly
of that,
becoming
it's
that.
still not
on the pitch. It's becoming that, and I think
on the pitch,
and I think in the stands, it's up to us to make that happen. And then up in the boardroom,
if you want to,
I think up in the boardroom,
it's up to them.
It's up to them. They have to take that.
Not just the boardroom, the coaching staff.
Yeah, 100%. They have to do better.
We can only control what we can control for now.
Yeah, but we're 100%.
And
I can sit here and agree with you, Mohammed. I can sit
here.
here
I'm choosing to not fight this.
I can sit here.
We have to fight it because it's gonna fight itself.
And I can sit here and agree with you and say, you know what, they need to do better in the boardroom and they need to do better in the coaching staff.
And in the fans.
We should also do better as
I'm not
as
an
fans.
Fan. Why should I do better?
If you are an England fan or not, me and Abs then should do better to maybe attend more games.
Maybe I'll look at one day and be like, it's not,
change the look of the crowd a little bit.
Only time will tell, right?
But right now, as it stands,
but I think you are seeing people like Robbie. I see a lot of these people that I watch. There are
plenty of people.
A lot of these influencers I watch, for example, all of these football influencers like Robbie and Flex and all these. These lot go to England games. They document them through their own lenses, and I watch it through them because they're the lenses I resonate with. They're black people, whatever. But even people like Robbie's been here for however many years, bro. He's like
second and third generation, bro. These I understand. That's fine.
But like,
you could support England, but that doesn't mean I'm good. And I think
that's the difference between me and you. I'm
In
debating.
fact, if they play like an African team, I actively
Depending
want
on
to
depending on what definition you look at, I could be second generation or first generation, whereas you're second generation. Sorry, you're first generation, right?
Yeah, well,
Because you came in.
Why you asking me?
So I said he's first generation, but I'm on the
second
border
gen.
of second gen because I was
My
born
pops have
here.
been since he's 10 and he's in the 70s.
But all my
So,
brothers are
Do you know what
first.
I mean? My dad's got a full English accent and like
That's
supports
all
Man United and do you know what I mean? So bruv, I'm British, I'm English.
Yeah, so that's what I'm
English
saying. That's the
son.
difference. But yeah, anyway, this conversation could go on forever.
Yeah.
But guys, if you've been listening up until now, thank you so
Well,
much.
shout out to the listeners from Netherlands and France that are tuning in on Frequency.
Yeah, I hear you. Thank you so much for listening. If you're out and about listening on Frequency Radio, and shout you out if you've been listening live on the YouTube or on whatever else we've been streaming on. But guys, yeah, keep it locked on the Instagram. Keep it locked on Frequency Radio. That's been all said and done for another week. Shout out Abs at Spoken Word Abs on the Instagram if you don't want to get at him. I plugged him on the Instagram on our Instagram stories. If you're not following us, at All Said and Done Pod. Get to know. It's Frequency. It's more than just music. Thank you so much if you've been locked in up until now. Yeah, take care, people, and we'll see you next week.
That was intense.